Please don't spoil the movie
by adding your own soundtrack.
And we're live.
We live, baby. We live.
Welcome back. We had a hiatus. You don't know about it, but we did.
All right. They'll never know, but we know.
Yeah. Just been procrastinating. We're back.
We're back in business, baby. We're back in session.
How are you?
Here we are. How am I?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. Doing great. I think the last time we recorded, my little announcement wasn't out, but this recording, counts out of the bag. I can officially say, I am an NFL cheerleader. I would like to thank my friends and my family for all the support that has been given to me and that has been bestowed onto me. I've been holding the secret in for many months now, and I finally was able to share it with the world. So that is my latest update since our last recording.
Woo! Congratulations.
Thanks.
Of course, new, but as always,
right? You've known for many moons. What's up with you? What's going on in your world?
Nothing much. I kind of want to talk about movies that I've seen recently. I don't know if you saw any good.
What have you seen?
Good? One that stood out. Well, okay, I saw a couple ones. When I was on a plane, I went on a work trip recently to Ohio, actually Cincinnati. It's actually a pretty nice place.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
It was actually kind of cute. I would go back.
You would go back to Ohio?
I would go back to Cincinnati, Ohio to have like a quaint, quiet trip. I would.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
Okay.
I'm curious about it. We could do more. Anywho, on the plane back, I watched The Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, you've never seen that movie
Never.
before?
Have you seen it?
Okay. I saw it a couple Halloweens ago, and I was actually surprised that I had never heard of the movie because it very much fits into our realm, I think, of like movies that we're into and that we would have seen as children, but I had never heard of it until a couple of...
I feel like I've heard people...
But it wasn't that good, in my opinion.
I feel like I've heard people like Vanderpump Rules, they always say Wishes of WeHo. People like reference it, but I never saw it. But I knew what it was. Or I knew what they were referencing. When I saw the movie, not what I thought it would be.
It has a cute aesthetic, but like it's not that good of a movie, in my opinion.
I like seeing Cher in a movie. I'm not really a big fan of Cher, but I think that was the first movie I ever seen her in. I really enjoyed it in it. Mm-hmm. I guess I enjoyed. There are parts I like. If I would have saw it in real time today, I'd be like, no, thank you. Mm-hmm. But like it being an old movie, I was into it.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was interesting. Very interesting.
I thought it was really weird. And I was just like, I was like, this is a movie that really could have like been phenomenal. Yeah. Like it was giving like Addams Family values to me. Like it could have been something good like that. And I was just like, this plot is terrible. And I did not understand.
Well, let's tell people about the plot real quick before we dived in.
Oh.
Three best friends. They always get together to drink. Whenever they get together, weird stuff happens. Like they'll say something and it happens, or they're giving off witch vibes, but they don't understand their powers. They summon a man who's
supposed to be
hot,
handsome, debonair.
Yeah. They talk about him like on a wine night, and they say all this stuff they want in a man.
Right, gorgeous.
And then we get, I don't know what
we get Jack Nicholson.
We get Jack Nicholson.
This bald-headed man.
And
receding hairline,
and like
stained teeth, and I was just so perplexed.
And then he basically starts sleeping with all three of the women,
right? And
they all fall in love with him, and they're all cool with it. And then like the townsfolk aren't into it,
right?
Because it's like questionable, yeah. And then it turns out he's like using them for their powers. He's like is he the devil?
I don't either remember, because I just saw it that one time. But yeah, I know
he's like a demon or a devil,
sour.
And like he starts to kind of abuse them or use their magic against them, and then they get back with him, and then in order to like kill him or defeat him, and they all get pregnant by him, and he's like a demon or something.
Yeah, that was so weird. They all got pregnant. I was just like, I was like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, it's just not what I thought it was.
Yeah,
but I don't hate it. I was just like, oh okay,
if that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it could have went. Yeah. I'm interested in a remake, to be truthfully honest. I think it'd be
a remake. Yes, I think that movie needs a reattempt for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. I want Ariana Grande in it. I want a strictly celebrity cast if we do a remake of, but like I don't want actor celebrities. I want to make this.
I would enjoy to see Vanessa Hudgens in it. I feel like she would do well.
Ariana Grande. Who would be the third?
I don't know about Ariana.
We had to have a black girl.
Oh yeah, of course she's gonna be light skinned, so they'll probably give it to Zendaya.
Oh, They might give it to Zendaya. I don't think Zendaya fits that part.
Yeah, she might not. But it's gonna be a light skinned chick, so whoever.
But they're definitely gonna do a black girl in there.
Who's light skinned?
Sure. But who would that be?
I don't know.
That Tessa Thompson, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Anywho.
And then I saw Dune recently.
Oh, how
I don't want to talk about it. That one was interesting. Also very different. It was definitely.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not as interested in this one. So.
Yeah. It was definitely.
I want to talk about this briefly.
Yes, it was definitely the storyline was to set you up for the future of the franchise.
Oh, okay.
This was 100% backstory, and it was 2 hours and 30 minutes long of things. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess like I liked it knowing that they're going to come out with more movies. If that was like one movie, of course, it's just like, what did I just watch? Yeah. Why did I spend 2 hours, 30 minutes? I do want to preference that, you know, because you think Zendaya's in it.
Mm-hmm.
She is, but you don't. So he like sees her in his dreams. Like he has this like it's like Star Wars. He has like powers and stuff.
Oh.
Like his mom.
This is the main character you're talking about.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet. Yes, call me by your name, guy. He has like powers. His mom. He has powers he gets from his mom. He like sees the future. His mom has this cool thing where she like changes the pitch of her voice, and she like tell people what to do. She'd be like, give me a knife or something. I don't know. Or like she like changes her pitch in her voice, and like people do what she wants. It's like some power that she has. But he's supposed to be like the, you know, up and coming guy, whatever. He has these dreams about Zendaya throughout the whole movie. You don't freaking meet Zendaya until like the last 20 minutes of the movie. It has like potential. There's gonna be black people in it. Yeah, I'm into it.
Sure. There's gonna be because like her village is like black people.
So like, it's basically like Indians almost. Like, it's like if I had to like her people live in this land where these super powerful. There's an emperor and he has like different. There's different families that, you know, rule under the empire, and then they come to Zendaya's island or her planet or whatever the hell it is, and they want the spice, but not for like, you know, not to like put on food. They need it to power their super like Death Star ships. And they use the spice to do that, and they just come in there and they take up all the spice, and I'm sure they're ruining the land slowly by surely. But they're like, you know, they're not the Zendaya's people don't want them there, and the Zendaya's people, the Zendaya's people don't want them there, and then the people who rule at the time, because one time for the longest it was one family that ruled and did that, and they were kind of like not nice, and they didn't have a good relationship. But like Timothy's family just took over that. And we find out it's not for a positive way, it's for a negative way, because the Empire apparently wants him dead for whatever reason. So it's basically like Timothy's family, whole Emperor, his family line basically is all his people like basically die, and he goes to live with Zendaya people, and to like bring Zendaya's people to power, and to, you know, get his name back, because all his folks are basically dead at this point. But it's cool. I don't know if I explained it right, but go watch it.
Right, the explanation. I'm not gonna lie. Started fizzling in my brain with the explanation.
It's honestly, when I was watching it with my boyfriend. I was like, every 10 minutes, I was like, okay, pause. Who's that? Who are these families? Who's the names? Because I was like,
I've got this right.
Because before we deep dive into this movie, I need to know the background story. Because it's kind of confusing. The Timothy's family and Zendaya's people, their names are like both start with K's and they're kind of similar. I was like, whoa. I need to understand this. I need to understand everything. But it's basically there's an emperor. He's jealous of Timothy's people. He sends them to this island basically to die. They all die. And he's going to work with Zendaya's people to, you know, bring back his name or whatever the hell.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And there's one movie I saw recently, but I can't remember what it was.
Was it the Netflix movie?
Oh, yeah.
Or the one with Idris?
I won't talk about that because I don't have anything positive to say.
Oh. She watched
The Harder They Fall.
The Harder They Fall recently with her mom, and she didn't like it. I didn't watch it because I was going somewhere, but Jordan didn't like it. But from the instances and the brief moments that I did see, it seemed interesting. I think I would go back and watch it.
I think the concept was interesting. It was hard for me to, and I think the characters were interesting. I think the concept was interesting. I love seeing black cowboys. I'm into it. I just think the story, it lost me, or I wasn't connected with the characters as much.
Mm.
I don't know. It felt like they were trying to fit too many storylines. I don't know. It just felt like I feel like they were trying to do too much that they didn't nail one thing. I don't know if that makes sense.
It was just a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. I was just like, what?
Right.
But it was. I like the last like 20 minutes when they like start like fighting. I like the fight scene.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. And then I watched The Heart of the Fall with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
Isn't The Heart of the Fall the
I'm sorry, Red Notice
movie?
with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds, and that was pretty good. It was a heist movie. You can't go wrong with a heist movie,
Right. It's very hard to mess those up.
Yeah, and Ryan Reynolds is funny.
Yeah.
The Rock did what The Rock does.
He was rocking.
Yeah, he was rocking.
The Rock was rocking.
Yeah, he's a cop, of course. Or was he? It's a plot twist. I won't spoil it for anyone.
I think you kind of just did spoil it, actually, for everyone.
Go watch it. Whoa, you don't know what that means.
I think you actually did just spoil it.
By the time this comes out, it would be a year from now.
Okay.
That movie.
Right. By the time this episode drops, it'll be 2026.
But all right, if we have nothing else to talk about, let's go ahead and dive into the movie we're watching today.
Drum roll, please.
Got Cheerleaders. Boom. It's from the 90s. What year is this?
2000. We're watching Bring It On, everyone. I'm really...
Sometimes in the beginning of episodes, I guess it'd be kind of hard too, because we're probably putting the title. Make people guess what one we're talking about, but that's not really helpful because we're probably just putting the title.
Right.
Anywho. We're watching Bring It On!
Woohoo! I'm really excited to do this one.
Cheerleaders. White cheerleaders. And black.
It's just such a great movie. Oh my god, it's so close to my heart. As a cheerleader, as a professional, as a professional cheerleader, this movie, even before then, this movie has always just held such an amazing spot in my heart. I love this movie. I love every ounce of it. There is not a thing about this movie that I would ever change. And I am obsessed with it. And it has been something that I've been watching since I was 5 years old when it came out. And I love it.
Yeah.
It's honestly one of my favorite movies. Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you for that. But it's definitely up there with Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Like it's
up there.
It's the high school movie of our lifetime, of our childhood, of our teenage years.
It's hitting.
It's hitting,
man.
We'll never forget this. But this is the movie that shaped a generation.
Right.
I would say.
Cult classic. All right, let's dive in.
Yes. So go ahead and get some background about Bring It On.
Okay, so the movie was released August 25th, 2000. So
2000 already the cups.
So last year was it like the movie's 20th anniversary. Yeah. And they had like this really good article that came out about it not too long for the 20th anniversary. It's in my notes, the article, some snippets from it, so we'll get into that later. Box office. How much do you want to guess it made at the box office? You have to guess the budget and
I'll say the budget 10 mil.
Very close.
12 mil.
Very close.
15?
Now you're getting colder.
Million.
You're getting colder.
13?
Warmer.
12 million.
You said 12 already.
Yeah.
And then you also
11?
said 10. Oh, there you go.
Okay. I was like, what?
$11 million hairs. Now, how much did it make at the box office?
20.
No.
a lot more?
Yes.
Oh, $50 million.
More than that.
Oh, wow. $100 million?
Close.
$110 million.
You're getting colder.
You have to guess it exactly every time.
Sorry, you're right. You're like, okay. $90 million.
Okay.
So it was like, they honestly weren't expecting that.
They weren't?
No. Because, chick flick about cheerleading.
Right. I wonder how that works. Like, do people everyone want to see it before it goes, or just a couple people go see it and they're like, oh my god, it's such a good movie, you have to go see it. And then people just like, what makes people go see a movie in the movie theaters? Because I feel like when I see a movie, like when I make a list of what movies I want to see in theaters, like, it's clear, I don't care what anyone says, it's clear yes, no, yes, no.
I don't know, I feel like this might have been, because, I mean, honestly, really, aside from Bring It On, I don't really know any other cheer movies that came out around this time. Well, there is one, but we'll actually get into that. That's in my notes. I don't know any other cheer movie that came out around this time. And then, I feel like it was a high school movie, but, like, it being a cheer movie gave it a little twist.
Yeah.
It gave it a little bit more appeal. I don't know.
And then you have the cheer market right there in your bag. I don't know who that is, but already grabbed.
You got them.
Yeah.
They're there.
For sure.
And then it was directed by Peyton Reed, and the screenplay is by Jessica
Screenplay. Cool.
Bindenberg. Jessica Bindenberg.
Shout out
to Jessica. She held it down.
Yeah.
So can I get into my...
Yes, go.
Okay, so I'm going to get into the background of, production of the film, yada, yada, yada. So originally, the movie, up until basically, filming, the movie was first called Cheer Fever.
Ew.
Okay? All the way through shooting. But then,
Cheer Fever.
Yeah. But then I think the movie is, produced through Universal or something. So, Universal felt like the word cheer was going to make it, too narrow of an audience for, marketing. So they're like, we got to scrap it. And then, so at the time, Bring It On was in the works. Like I mentioned, there was another cheer film that was also in production.
It's called Bring It On?
No.
No, okay.
There's another cheer film that was going, in production.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess what it was?
It said one where they robbed the bank.
Yeah, Sugar and Spice. Okay. So the other cheer movie was Sugar and Spice, which is also a great movie that is highly underlooked. But after doing my research... Now I don't feel as bad that the movie's not as popular.
Tell me why.
So, okay.
Well, tell me about it first.
So Sugar and Spice is also a movie about cheerleaders, but they're cheerleaders turned bank robbers. And so Kristen Dunst, who plays Torrance in Bring It On, she was up for the role for Torrance, but she ended up turning it down because she was booked for another movie, right? So then the director, they had to scrap and find another.
Wait, we're talking about the.
So this is very intertangled. This story,
okay.
Sugar and Spice and Bring It On.
So she tried out for Sugar and Spice or no?
No. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, so they're doing Bring It On. They're trying to figure out who's gonna play these roles. Okay.
Yeah.
At the same time, Sugar and Spice is also in production. They're trying to figure out they're gonna play their cheerleaders, right? So the director of Bring It On is like, I want Torrance as this role. Torrance is like, hey man, sorry, I'm booked.
Who's Torrance?
Torrance, Kristen Dunst.
Kristen Dunst is book, I can't do it.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm booked on another movie. Sorry, I can't do it. I don't know what the movie was, but that's not important. So then the director's like, okay, gotta find another Torrance. So then he sits down with actress Marley Shelton, who ends up playing the lead role in Sugar and Spice.
Okay.
So she sat down with the director to play Torrance.
He's like, no.
And then he finds out she's up for Sugar and Spice, and she ends up picking Sugar and Spice. So she turns down the role of Torrance. Big mistake. A fool. Huge. A fool's errand.
Big mistake. Huge.
So right. So the director wants to go back to Kristen, and he's like, I gotta get her. He's like, I got it. He calls her up, and he's like, Kristen, look, I know you're doing this movie. I really want you in this film. And she's like, let me think about it. And then she's like, okay, I'll do it. So she does it.
Bag.
Gabrielle,
Spider-Man.
I don't know
when Spider-Man came out. But...
I don't know. They said she was filming something in Czechoslovakia or something, or Czech Republic, Romania, or something like that.
Definitely not Spider-Man.
But so then Gabrielle Union also read for a role in Sugar and Spice. Right? Okay.
As a cheerleader or just
as one of the cheerleaders. Oh. But get this, she didn't get the role. Want to know why?
Racism.
Of course. They didn't want any of the roles to be played by black people. They wanted all white for the whole movie. The entire film, they want everybody to be white. You're like, I get it.
Well, because I feel like the part of the appeal is these regular white girls rob this bank. And I feel like if a black girl did, they'd be like, well, yeah, the black girl's robbing the bank.
I don't know. That's not...
They would have... It could have... I mean, they definitely could put a black girl in it. She just had to be the most... Wait. Because some of them are homeless or trashy.
No, the movie is... There's one who's aggressive.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they would have casted a black girl, it probably would have been her.
Right.
But then, but you're also, you saying that, it also just sounds like you saying, oh, black people are criminals, so of course you can't put a black... You can't put a black... That's how you sound right now.
No, but that's what I think they're thinking
of. Maybe.
And that's... But in their heads, they want to portray this... Well, I'm just thinking...
Yeah, they're saying... Yeah, because you're saying, black people can't be innocent.
Yeah.
And this movie's about innocent cheerleaders being bank robbers. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think that. I'm just thinking... I'm just saying
what Hollywood thought in 2000.
And what they want to put out.
That's fair. Okay, so she read for the movie, but she didn't get it. And then also, so I read her book. This is in her book. I got this info from her book. Love her book. If you haven't read We're Gonna Need More Wine by Gabrielle Union, it's her first memoir. Fantastic. Oh my God. This woman has lived a life. But so she talks about how she didn't get the role and how she, inevitably got the role for Bring It On. And she loves telling people at parties. And she's like, yeah, I was up for the movie Sugar and Spice, but the movie failed. It was terrible. And I got Bring It On instead. And I'm like, she loves bragging about it. Yeah. She says that in her book. So yeah, but then also in her book, she also mentions how her character Isis. I don't know if you've ever noticed. Literally, they never say her character's name.
It's
in the movie. Literally, her name is Isis.
It is Isis.
Literally. When have you ever heard them say her name in the movie?
Well, now I know why.
Like literally
it's a terrible
never.
Name.
Literally never.
Isis.
Her name is Isis. Yeah.
It's not even a black name. I don't know what that is.
I mean, that's a normal. I mean, now it's like a terrible script.
Isis. Okay, sure.
But anywho, so her name's Isis, and Gabrielle Union mentions in her book how before they started filming the original scripts, her character was very ignorant, very ghetto. They had all these words, like these made up slang, wannabe black slang words that she had never heard of, that the character would use, and she was like, "This is not gonna work."
What? Who made up the black slang?
Girl, she said, we read the book. She's like, I can't even, like, her describing the words. She's like, I can't even break it down for you guys. Like, she's like saying to the reader, like, I don't even know how to break down this word for you because they were so ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
So she says that, and she like basically goes to the director because in an alternate ending in the movie,
she gets shot.
No.
Oh.
Gabrielle Union's character Isis and Kristen Dunn's character Torrance. I want you to stop guessing.
What did they do?
Because you were so far left.
I just feel like it's something racist.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I'm just like...
Because Gabrielle Union's character Isis and Kristen Dunn's character Torrance end up cheering together at UC Berkeley in an alternate ending of the movie.
Okay.
Of the original script
Berkeley,
of the ending. Right. And she says in the book, she's like, anybody who goes to UC Berkeley, like, you're smart, you're educated, you're a leader, you like have all these, credentials and whatever. She was like, what they're portraying Isis to be in the script.
It's not some people want to go to that school.
It's not someone who would go to UC Berkeley. Yeah. She was like, the math ain't mathin' over here. So she goes to the director.
Her character doesn't even want to go to UC Berkeley.
Yeah, she's like, her character can't get into UC Berkeley. So she's like, what y'all have here and what y'all have as an ending is not working. The math not mathin'. So she worked with the director to like rewrite like her lines and yada yada yada. Right. So that's basically what she says in her book. Yeah. Oh, she also mentions that the actresses on the White Squad, the Toros, they had 3 weeks of cheerleading boot camp, and then the Clovers only got 9 days. I was like, that's not fair. So, and then she said, obviously, like, she was like, I am not a trained athlete or a cheerleader, and so she was like, I don't have rhythm, and she was like really struggling with learning the routines and everything. Yeah.
Well, so was Kristen Dunst.
Right. So was Kristen Dunst. Gabrielle, you looked a whole lot better than Kristen Dunst. Let me tell you that, honey. And then also, so when it came down for the role of Cliff, the love interest in the movie, Jason, I do not know how to say this man's last name. Schwartzman? That looks right. Schwartzman. Honestly, I don't really. If you saw a picture of him, you'd recognize him. He plays Gideon in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I don't know what he's not.
He was supposed to play Cliff?
Right.
Wait, Jason?
SCHW. Wartsman? Him. Right? Isn't that awful? And the director was like...
Let me see if I can find a young photo of him. Because
first of all, he's like 5'2".
Exactly.
And there was one movie. He's not in anything that's like
I don't know what movie this
super.
He's not that bad looking here. This is a young version of him.
I guess he was in a movie once from like our youth where he plays like a creep, and from then on, I've always just considered him to be such a creepy person.
Versus the World, what movie?
I can't.
The only movie I know that he's in is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
He's in another movie where he's like a weirdo. He's like a real creeper, and like ever since then, I'm just like, you're a creeper. I couldn't tell you what it was. But so he read for the role of Cliff. The director was like, he was fantastic. And then James Franco also read.
James Franco.
He's always reading for something and not getting it.
He was in his bag.
He really wasn't in that many like teen movies though.
But I feel like he was around. I just feel like
he was around. He was auditioning, but he wasn't getting them roles, girl.
I was watching
because he also tried to do Aaron Samuels in Mean Girls. We talked about that, which makes so much like the directors really know what they're doing because James Franco might have thought he could play these roles and maybe he could have, right.
But like him as an his acting career would have been totally different if he'd have played those things.
Yeah,
like he was perfect for Spider-Man,
right?
Like, he was perfect for everything else that he did. Or, like, what's the show he was in?
Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks. That is him. He's not, like, a love interest.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not it. But yeah, so he auditioned for it, didn't get it. So the director really just liked the guy who played Cliff, Jesse Bradford or whatever. He's really into him. And then also the role of Sparky Pilastri. The director had worked with him previously. And so he called him up and was like, hey, do you want to do this role? And he was like, Sparky was like, yeah, sure. Sparky is the guy who goes, Spirit Fingers.
Yeah.
That's him. And that was his first time being in a movie. He had never been in a movie.
Oh, I wonder what he worked with him before that he was
some show. Okay, so I also want to... So I'm getting all this information from the article that I read for the 20th anniversary. Mm-hmm. So I want to dive into what the article speaks about. So basically, the director was very on brand and on point with the themes of this movie. And in the article, he mentions how... He was like, the movie has major like themes of like race and privilege. Right. And he's like... In his opinion, for a 2000s movie, it was very progressive. And he basically, this is his words, the whole theme was cultural appropriation. Yes. And Gabrielle's character, Isis, says it up front when they go to East Compton. You guys always stealing something and putting a blonde wig on it and calling it something different. It's right there, says Reed. In our movie, we were dealing with all these privileged characters. The white cheerleading squad, they are bragging that they are the 5-time national champs. They are talking to other cheerleading squads saying that that's all right, that's okay, you're going to pump our gas someday. It's not a likable sentiment. Mm-mm. But then they find out it's all a fraud. Yes. And so it's about Kristen's character, Torrance, taking her first steps into awareness. The idea that she's starting to confront her white privilege. That's very much there in the movie. And I feel that it aged very well.
It did.
And then he also gave credit to Gabrielle Union about how I mentioned earlier about how they worked on...
He's ahead of his time.
Yeah, how they worked on like revising her character. Yeah. And he's like, I have to give major credit to Gabrielle because when she came in, we worked really hard on her character of Isis in terms of how she was portrayed in her dynamic in all the situations. She was very specific in what worked and what didn't work. And I wanted to get it right and make sure that we were making a movie that was aspirational in that way.
Because I was in my head, I was wondering like, I'm very surprised that he took direction from her. But he seemed like he was... Yeah. He knew the point of the movie, so it would be crazy if he didn't after all that. Right.
And then he also mentions about how like the need for Torrance's advancement in the movie they had to lose. Like for her, it's like she couldn't advance as a person and then them still win.
No.
Right. And he was like,
someone in this room wanted that to happen.
I used to when I was young, because I was like, why did we do all of this? Why did they go through this whole thing and then they lose?
You too can ride on the back of black people.
I too have failed to see the message.
Yeah, just do all that. Like at the end of the day,
like 6 months ago, I was like, I don't get why they lost.
It's like, what? What kind of message is that?
She did everything she had to do.
No.
She did the right thing.
No.
She should have been rewarded for it.
But your past still affects your present.
Okay.
We'll talk about it more.
Okay, right. Okay, but he's basically like the story wouldn't have worked if she gets like the trophy at the end. No. Yeah. And he was like, it was always intended that way. He was like, it's always the rocky ending. He goes the distance with Apollo Creed, but he loses. And then and then he mentions, this is what he says. I remember the line, second place, it feels like first, carrying a lot of meaning, because it was really about Kristen's character and the team coming into the competition on their own merits and did the best they could, but the Clovers were always the better squad. Mm-hmm. And then he says, I will say over the years, people will say to me, does it seem right that the Toros lost? And I'm always like, absolutely, it seems right. Yeah. It's very interesting. Get this part. It's very interesting how different people perceive the ending. And it's also very telling. Yeah. So basically, with that said,
tell us all about you.
Right. I want to bring it back. I want to reel it back to Gabrielle Union's book, because in her book, she mentions how she worked so hard to like erase the ghetto stereotype that they were trying to put on her character Isis. People still come up to her and is like, you know how in people always come up to her and go like, it's already been brought in, but that's not even from Bring It On. That's like a spoof from that movie. Not another teen movie.
It's already been
brought in. Yeah. She says in her book how people always come up to her and say that, and she's like, son, that's not even from my movie.
Right.
And then she's like saying how like perception is reality, because even though she erased that like stigma with her character, people still want to associate that like ghetto hood.
Yeah.
It's already been brought incorrect grammar onto her character. And she said one year they had did like for like an anniversary, maybe like the 10-year, I don't know, anniversary of the film or something. They did like a photo shoot with like people from the cast, and Gabrielle Union was talking to Kristen Dunst, Torrance.
Yeah.
I was saying how people always come up to her and say that. And then Kristen Dunst was like, wait, you didn't say that? Like, I always thought that was you. Like, I thought that was from your character. And she was like, no. And then she's like, perception is very much reality. And how...
Not you, Kristen Dunst.
Right. I was like, not you. Not you in the movie and you still don't get it.
Did you watch
it?
Yeah, say that.
So, yeah. And how he's saying, it's very telling how people are like, why didn't they win?
Who's this guy? What other movies did he make? I'm into him.
I don't think he made anything
What's his
noticeable. Name? Peyton Reed.
I like him.
Yeah. I'm with him.
I'm rooting for you, Peyton.
What else?
He did Ant-Man.
Oh, did he really?
Yes, Man.
Okay, Marvel.
Yeah, he making money. He did Bring It On, of course. Down with Love. Oh, he did The Breakup.
Oh, okay. So he's got some stuff under his belt.
First, second, third. Is this Back to the Future? No, this is The Secret. I don't know what this is.
That does say Back to the Future.
No, this is The Secrets of Back to the Future. I thought he did Back to the Future.
I don't know what that means.
Holy crap. But I think it's his biggest ones. Yeah, everything else besides this is not that. But I guess he's making a comeback with Ant-Man, because that seems like his most recent thing he did. Yes, man.
And then I have one more thing from the article, and that is the use of a gay slur.
Oh, all up in that movie.
Girl. Well, actually, when I read it, he was like, we only say twice. And
which one? The F word or the D word?
The F one.
Oh, I thought the D word was up there too.
So he's like, well, in the movie, he was like, yeah, that hasn't aged well. But he was like, when the first time they use it, it's when Jan and Les, they're like passing up those football players, and they call it. Yeah. And he was like, at that point, it was it's hate speech. And he was like, it was intended to be used as hate speech. And then he said in the other time they use it is when they're in the car and they're all going to the game, and it's Missy's first game, and they're talking about everybody's sexuality, and she uses it, and that was supposed to be used as like I don't know, like co-opting language. I don't even know what that means, but he said something like that. But like, you know, like I guess he's trying to say like black people say the N word. Yeah, kind of. Might say the F word. I guess say that word. And he was like, that was kind of the intent about it. And he was like, but if we made the movie today, it probably wouldn't be approached in that way. And he was like, I definitely would have approached it different. He was like, I would have approached a lot of things in the movie differently had if it been made today.
I wonder what else, because I think it was pretty. Yeah. I think those. When the football say it, I think that's accurate. I feel like they would definitely say it.
But when she said in the car, I was like, sis.
Right.
I was like, what you doing?
Yeah, that's not cool. And then they call Missy a Uber. Well, the D word. Yeah. Being a lesbian. Yeah. And then, but yeah, we'll get to that.
Right.
But are we?
I'm done. I'm done with
Woo! Well, I was going to give a summary about Bring It On, but I feel like you've already explained it basically.
The summary is okay. The 5-time national cheerleader champions, the Rancho Corner Toros, discover that their previous captain stole all their best routines from the East Compton Clovers. And now the Toros' current captain, Torrance Shipman, Kristen Dunst, must figure out new routines for nationals. That's a summary of the film.
Woo! So now we're into it. And it starts off like this. So the movie starts off with
we
sexy.
Don't know.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm sexy. I'm cute. I'm popular to boot. I'm curse word. Great hair. The boys all love to stare. I'm wanted. I'm hot. I'm everything you're not. I'm pretty. I'm cool. I dominate the school. Who am I? Just guess. The guys all wanna touch my chest. I'm rockin'. I'm smile. And many think I'm vile. I'm flying. I jump. You can't look, but don't you hump. Woo! I major. I roar. I swear I'm not a whore.
Oh, sorry.
We cheer and we lead. We act like we're on speed. Hate us cause we're beautiful. Well, we don't like you either. We're cheerleaders. We are cheerleaders. Roll call. Call me Big Red. Yeah, I'm Whitney. Courtney. Dude, it's Jersey. I'm Big Red Carver. Yeah! Just call me Casey. I'm still Big Red. I sizzle, I scorch, and now I pass the torch. The ballots are in, and one girl has to win. She's perky, she's fun, and now she's number one. Torrance. Yeah, Torrance. I'm strong, and I'm loud. I'm gonna make you proud. Torrance. Yeah, you're Captain Torrance. We are the Toros. The mighty.
Yeah. Let's go Toros.
Let's go Toros.
Yeah, woo!
That is the intro cheer to
And
bring it
then-
on. That is how the movie kicks it off, honey.
And then we see what's her name? Torrance. Torrance go down. She comes up.
Oh,
she's,
yeah.
she's topless.
Oh, yeah.
Boys in the gym are laughing at her. Ha ha ha! It's so funny. Her boobs are out.
They're like, nice rack.
Yeah. And then we realize that's a dream.
It's a dream. Every Bring It On
starts off with the dream. Oh, fun fact.
Every Bring It On starts off with the dream.
Yeah. And then, we realize that, she's dreaming because it's a big day. But before we get there,
the morning of
she's worried about making captain. That's what she's worried about.
It's a big day. That's why she had a nightmare. That morning, her boyfriend Aaron comes to pick her up.
Ugh.
Before he goes off to college. He's also a cheerleader. He was on the team the year before. Now he's a freshman in college. She's a senior.
He comes pick her up. He kisses her in front of parents.
Yeah.
Inappropriate.
They're talking about captain announcements.
We want to point out that Torrance parents are clearly not a fan.
Oh yeah,
of Aaron.
they are not into Aaron.
And
They're
then
not here for him.
Right, and then we get the famous line, "I got the door, tour."
Oh yeah, because they're getting in the car.
Yeah, I get the door, tour. Yeah, and they talk about the who was going to be the next cheer captain of the Toros.
And then he's talking about them going to college together in the car too. And he's like, "I'll be the experienced sophomore. You'll be the hot new freshman."
Don't lie to her. Stop setting up for these dreams. You're lying. You're lying.
Okay, to say like that was her boyfriend and she was like calling him left and right. She really didn't seem that into him. Like, cause even when he was talking about you'll be the new freshman, I'll be the experienced sophomore. She like her face was like, okay.
She's only worried about being a cheer captain,
right.
And he was, I think he's part of her image at the time. I don't know.
Maybe so.
I don't know why she'd be sexually attracted to him. To be frank. But whatever.
He had bushy eyebrows.
I'm sure it was like when they first met, it was probably so hot. He's like, oh my God. Yeah. She probably was a freshman. He was probably a sophomore. And they were like so into it.
You would think he would be a football player, but.
He gives off football player. Right. He gives off idiot.
Yeah.
No offense to football player. But he gives off. He doesn't get off like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a male cheerleader. He gives off like douchey idiot.
Right. So when they pull up at the school.
They basically go out and vote.
Right.
Everyone's collecting their ballot. And guess who becomes cheerleader, Jade?
Torrance.
Oh my God. Who saw that? Who saw that coming?
Who saw that coming? Kristen Dunst's character, Torrance, becomes the captain.
She takes big
Courtney and Whitney, the haters of the squad, are hating on her for being captain. They're like, oh, she's so fat.
They call her fat?
No. I think they call her a hoe or something. But they are hating from the back of the bus. Girl, they hating from outside the club.
Oh yeah, they stay around the club. But Torrance is now the captain. Torrance. I do not like how her name is Torrance and the team is called Toros. Because I want to say Torosans. I don't know. I just want to combine it. Yeah. But she takes Big Red's old spot. And day one, she's captain. And she's like, wasted no time. First practice.
She's like, let's get into it. First practice, I want to do a womp wall.
Oh, what? Oh, you remember?
What's a womp wall? I have no idea.
Is that what she says?
She was like, yeah, I want to do a womp wall.
A womp wall?
A womp wall.
I thought you were just like,
no, she's like, let's do a womp wall.
No. Are you saying like you don't know what she said, or is that what she said?
She says womp womp. A womp womp.
Did you write that down?
Well, she was like, and then Courtney's like, not Courtney, Casey, the real timid one. She's like, what's a womp womp?
What is a womp womp?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, I wrote down they do legit period periods and regular stuff, and then I guess they do a womp womp.
No, that's what it's called. And then, so from a cheerleader's perspective, I mean, I didn't get to see the whole thing. Someone recently actually told me what they were doing was kind of dangerous, but
yeah, from
what I saw, I was like, this looks super basic. It looked really simple to me, so maybe I don't know.
Well, it goes wrong. One of the main things that go wrong, the male cheerleaders are like fat shaming them.
Oh yeah, they're like, do I look like a milkmaid because somebody feels like a cow?
Oh my God, they're so unnecessary.
Get out of
Jade,
here.
as a male cheerleader, as a cheerleader, do the male cheerleaders fat shame you?
Girl, let somebody say, and do I look like a milkmaid because you feel like a cow? I'm going to HR.
Right. Could you imagine allowing male cheerleaders to come into our space? I mean, no offense. I mean,
like, this is female-dominated, son.
And then y'all come in here and fat shaming us?
And you're fat shaming
This is our safe place.
That boy said, do I look like a milkmaid because somebody feels like a cow?
Who invited you?
That is
We let y'all in here.
Right.
Because we needed someone to throw us in the air, and this is how you do us?
Right, girl. I was like,
But also, apparently, it was a dangerous stunt because...
Okay, because Carver is at like the top of the pyramid, and
her
front spot was not doing her job.
Right.
Like, she falls. Her front spot, literally, her arms are out to catch her, and then as soon as she falls, she steps to the side and lets her go.
Drag her.
Are you kidding me?
Front spot, what are you doing?
Like, she literally, her arms out, and she literally.
Do you know who the front spot
back.
was? Was it a main character?
No, it wasn't. It was just some random chick. No, I think it might have been Casey.
Who's Casey?
That's the one who's like, "What's a womp womp?" The real timid one.
Oh, okay.
I think it was her.
She was for her character.
She needs to get kicked off the team.
Well, yeah, the girl. She falls and breaks her freaking neck.
I hate when she falls, and it goes black then red.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've always hated that.
It's intense.
Poor Carver.
Yeah.
So Carver is majorly injured.
Yep. Do y'all learn any like proper way to fall? No, because you think someone's gonna catch you.
I mean,
it's probably too late by the time you're like,
put your hands down. I don't know.
No, don't do that. You break your wrists.
Right.
But I mean, at that point, I would do like, protect your head. But at that point, you probably think someone's gonna catch you, and by the time you realize no one's catching you,
that's
like
why the front spot was
inches off the ground.
Yeah.
But Torrance flew too high to the sun on her first date, and she lost.
Right. And Carver is seriously injured. She's out for the whole season.
Yeah,
and this is day one.
Day one, and she already lost one. I'm going to say important player because she's at the top of the pyramid. I'm sure that's no.
Yeah, and Carver looked like she was strong.
She looked like she could throw some scrub there.
She looked like she could do some stuff.
Right. Shout out to Carver. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
To her cheerleading career. And then she goes home. We meet her iconic younger brother, which name I do not know.
Oh, I don't know either.
Yeah, but he's the annoying younger brother, and he does a great job at his job as annoying younger brother.
He's very anti-cheer. I have here that she goes home, she's talking to her mom, and her mom's upset she's not on the honor roll. And her mom's like, you need to make school a priority. And, she's a high school teenage girl, so cheer is her priority.
Yeah, cheer is her life. Yeah. And I appreciate her passion, but yeah, I don't know. Her mom's, I feel like a lot of moms would kill for their daughters to be
the captain of the cheerleading squad.
Her mom's like, education, which I appreciate, but her daughter is cheer. So it's not working for her. And then the next day, we see Torrance in class, and we meet the new kid.
Yeah, we're introduced to. Oh, I put Clay. His name is literally Cliff. We're introduced to Cliff.
Sparks are flying off the bat.
He's walking down the hall like this new cool kid. He's got like a cassette tape.
If I could describe him, what is he like? He's like punk rock. He's like emo, but not like super emo.
Yeah, he's like punk, but not like emo punk.
Where's he from?
Los Angeles.
And where are they?
They're in San Diego.
It's funny because I feel like they're well, I guess you could say they are kind of different environments.
Yeah, like LA and like, if you're like LA, and then you're like the suburbs of San Diego.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
But it's funny that they're trying to be like, oh yeah, Los Angeles is so hardcore. He's like still a rich kid.
Right. He's still very wealthy.
Yeah. He's like
he's still very
different
privileged.
Forms of rich white kid.
Just different personalities.
It's like
still rich. Like, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
You're not from the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, exactly. He's giving off other side of the tracks, but he's rich. Don't get it wrong.
Like, don't get it
twisted.
We're
all rich here.
Right. Like, don't get it twisted. We all drive BMWs and like brand new Jeeps. Baby,
exactly.
Okay?
This is not that movie. This is not like poor, rich. Right. It is everyone's
like
rich.
Leave that to the Clovers.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. There's only one poor squad here, and that's the blacks. So don't get it twisted. It's not one of those movies. This isn't 16 Candles.
Okay. So Cliff walks in. He meets Torrance for the first time. He just transferred.
I do want to correct that. I meant to say Pretty in Pink, not 16 Candles.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice. He transfers from Missions Hills High School in Los Angeles.
We get the loser.
Yeah, so he walks down to sit down. The jocks are sitting next to him. They do like the whole loser sneeze.
Yeah.
And then Cliff tries to like read them. Doesn't really work out.
He kind of does. I don't know. He brings up like gun shoot, like high school
He's
shootings.
like, was that the loser sneeze you guys just did? He was like, oh my god, like what?
He's like, where I'm from, we shoot people in high school. That's basically what he said. And I was like, I mean, yeah, but like, whoa.
He was like, yeah, he's like, no one does loser sneeze. We have the LA riots. No one does
he's like, murder.
Sneezes.
It's like, and that's like, it's funny that he brought up the LA riots because it's not.
I don't think no, he literally doesn't bring up the LA riots.
Not your people. It's like not even okay, but he doesn't. Right. He does bring up like gun violence in high school or something like that. He's
and
like,
then
whoa.
after he does all that, they're still like dork.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
But it doesn't matter.
Really
Kristen Dunn, Torrance is into him. She peeps game. He peeps game. They're peeping game together. Balls in all the courts.
Right. They have like a brief flirty little conversation.
Yeah. And they're into each other. They're not even hiding it. There's not even like
the chemistry is there.
The chemistry's there. Mm-hmm. And then we leave class. Torrance is walking, and then she's
walking with like one of like the cheerleader guys. Yeah.
And then we run into the male football players, and this is the scene that we were talking about earlier.
Right. This is the scene. They're talking about advanced chem. They're just having a casual conversation, and then the jocks walk past them, and then they call Les is his name, the gay male cheerleader that Torrance is walking with. They call him the F word.
Like, dude,
hate speech.
Right, hate speech.
Hate speech.
Which is, I'm sure, perfect at the time. Could you imagine being a male cheerleader back then in high school?
Right. In the 2000s, the beginning of the millennium.
Yeah. Fresh off the 90s? What?
Right. Like, Jesus.
But yeah, not cool, but they say it, and I think it's representative of the times.
Yeah, for sure.
So it is what it is.
And what happens next? Next scene, we're having tryouts to replace Carver.
Yeah. Day 2.
Tryouts. We gotta get this ball rolling. The judges, we have Torrance. We have Whitney and Courtney, the haters of the... But okay, so Whitney and Courtney are also the judges. Torrance is a judge. The hetero male cheerleader, Jan.
His name is Jan.
Yeah. Why? That doesn't help his case. He is a judge. Darcy, the hot one, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Slutty one. And then Casey, the fragile one.
The fragile one. Where'd you get the word fragile? Did you type that yourself? Did you read somewhere they called her fragile?
I put the fragile one.
That's how you identify her?
That's how I identify her.
That's funny because it is a perfect adjective for her, but I just never thought about it as fragile.
Very weak. She's a weak girl.
Yes. Right. It's crazy how she lasts on this team because you really have to have tough skin, to be truthfully honest.
Really. And she does not have the tough skin.
She must be like really good. Because I feel like Big Red alone could like make you go
chew
home.
You up and spit you out alive.
Especially Whitney and
Courtney.
Oh God, they're worse. Two. But let's see.
So then let's get into the contestants. Do you have that down?
We have a montage of tryouts.
Yeah, we have a montage of young hopefuls hoping to make the team. Yes. There's only one spot, ladies and gents.
Uno mas.
And I have contestant number 1. I have the girl who's like, ready, okay. And then she keeps on messing up. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, can I start over? Oh my God, ready, okay. And then she messes up again. And it's like, oh, girl, go home.
Nope.
And then there's another girl who's like, be aggressive. Be aggressive. She's not aggressive.
Okay.
There's no bass in her voice. No pronunciation, no speech.
Do you want to be a cheerleader? Come on.
Right. Where's the funny?
Next.
Next. Then there's the girl who's asking like the 11 million questions. She's like, and do I have to wear underwear? Because I don't wear underwear.
Oh, wow.
And do we practice every day? And do I have to wear that uniform? Because I don't like the color red. The color red doesn't. Next. Then we've got the break dancer. He's like doing hip hop. Okay. Boom, chick, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Boom.
Okay. I just don't think it's gonna work for here. So
next. Then there's the girl who broke up with her boyfriend. She's crying. She looks like she could have been really good.
You know what? Sometimes you have to separate your real life from your work life, which is cheer. Next.
And then we have the male ballerina.
Potential.
Yeah. Les is really into him, the gay male cheerleader. Okay. He was also a judge. He's really into it. He's like, oh my God. He's like,
next for here, but maybe for us later.
Maybe for them later. A sneaky link, perhaps. Then we have the rapper. She's like, yo, yo, yo.
Is this the auditions for the talent show? Next.
And then we have Give My Regards to Broadway. Remember me to Harold's Way.
Next.
Is this not the audition for Pippin?
Next.
She's like, excuse me. What's with the singing? Is this not the audition for Pippin?
They're fed up.
No.
Next.
Okay, and then there's the girl who's like literally a stripper, and she comes in and she's like dancing. She's dancing to Sweet Cherry Pie. She's my cherry pie.
And then Jan,
Jan, the hetero male cheerleader, is very into it.
Stay on focus, Jan.
Right.
Next.
And then next we have Whitney's little sister. Who also gave
Shake your booty.
who also Toro gave no
No energy.
enthusiasm whatsoever.
But honestly, could have made it to him.
But of course, Whitney and Courtney are like, we have to have her because she's tiny. She gives no lip, and she can be a flyer.
She could be a flyer. I mean, honestly, it would probably.
She was like 5 foot, like 100 pounds. She could
if she gave more energy, she could.
Yeah, if she had energy, she definitely could have done it. Yeah, because I'm sure she could tumble too.
I'm sure she could. She's like, no, I did this because my sister.
Yeah,
and my parents.
I'm here because my sister is making me.
I hate everyone.
And then contestant number 11,
boom, boom, boom,
Missy.
Boom, boom, boom.
She walks in. She looks real punk rock biker chick. Boom, boom. Very Avril Lavigne energy. You know,
she got those weird dreads
as soon as she walks in, she's a head turner. She's like dark. She's like dark
literally
hair.
why is she here?
Everyone's like judging her the second she walks in. But little do they know, she about to kill it. She about to eat them up, girl, on a silver platter.
Bring down the house, because girl can what?
Right.
Tumble.
And then they come in. The first thing they say to her, I'm sorry, but tattoos are strictly forbidden. And then she like licks her finger.
Yeah.
And
iconic.
She rubs. First of all, if you see the PG-13 rated version, she licks her fingers with 2 fingers, and she smudges.
Right. Yeah,
she smudges it. She smudges like the tattoo she drew on herself off. But then if you like the adult rated one, she licks her middle finger and then she flicks them off and then rubs it off.
That's funny. They do it differently.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I wonder, like, when they reshoot, they were like, okay, we need a PG-13 version. We need an R-rated version.
We need the movie rated version.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then, so she licks off the tattoo, and she's like, I got bored during third period.
It's a very elaborate tattoo. I don't know.
It is. How she was able to do that on herself.
And how she did get in trouble is beyond me. Because I'm like, girl, like, you could doodle in class, but this is very nice.
Right.
You must stop and pay attention.
Okay, and then so Darcy, the hot cheerleader, she's like, excuse me, a standing back tuck is like standard procedure. And then she's like, yeah. And then Missy's like, is a standing back handspring okay? Back tuck okay? No. So Missy's like, is a standing back handspring back tuck okay? And then
which one's harder?
They're about what and what. Like if you can do a standing tuck, you could probably do a back handspring tuck.
Okay.
So a standing tuck is just
in the air, straight off,
just a
momentum,
tuck.
Right?
Yeah.
But she asked to do a back handspring into a tuck.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, ease into it.
Yeah.
Got it.
A lot of people think back handsprings are hard. So one might argue that a back handspring tuck might be harder, but then a standing tuck, you literally just go from
no momentum.
Ground. You just right. You go from the earth.
Yeah.
Like
no
you go
bounce
from
back.
nothing. Right. So,
that's weird. Some people think back handsprings are hard.
Yeah. Like a lot of men are really terrible at back handsprings. A lot of guys can't do back handsprings.
I can see that.
Yeah. But they can do a standing tuck like it's nothing.
That thighs, they really push right here. But like women are supposed to be strong in their thighs.
Yeah.
They say like if a woman ever in a fight or has protection, so they say use your legs. That's where our momentum comes from or something like that.
Right.
That's what they say.
So she does her standing back tuck.
Yes.
Whitney hits her with where is this girl from? Romania?
Not Romania. Not because she's German.
Because they be working hard over there in Romania.
Is Romania from Germany?
And then Courtney's like, well, can she yell? And then Torrance is like, well, let's see. And then Torrance goes, awesome. Oh wow. Like totally freaked me out. I said right on. Boom, boom. Toro's also number one. And then Missy's like, I transferred from Los Angeles. Your school has no gymnastics team. This is a last resort. And then she's like, so I've never cheered before. So what?
Why? Can we talk about why she really wants to join this cheerleading team so bad and why can't she find a gymnastic team?
Right. She walks in like she's too cool to be there.
Yeah.
It's like, here you are trying out.
Right.
And you're in San Diego. Like, you can like, it's not like you're in like the boondocks of like the Midwest, honey. You can easily find, you're in California. Still, you can easily find a gym.
And it's like she can't afford to do gymnastics somewhere else. Like,
right.
Like maybe in my head, I'm like, maybe she needs to do it with the school because it'd be cheaper, but it's like,
and I've also never even, she's like, the school has no gymnastics team. I've never heard of any school having a gymnastics team.
Never. Unheard of.
That's unheard of. A gymnastics team.
Right.
Honey, you gotta go to a gym for that. Like, we don't do that.
No one has that on the ground.
Right.
So yeah, but it's plot stories. So
whatever.
Not sure why she wanted to join, but she does.
Yes. So she's like, so what? I'd never cheered before. And then at this point, Courtney and Whitney, the haters of the team, they have it up to here with her ish.
And
then Courtney like whispers to Whitney, and she's like, do it. And then Whitney goes, front handspring, step out, round off back handspring, step out, round off back handspring, step out, full twisting layout.
I wouldn't even remember it, but I was like, I'm gonna throw my body in the air. You're not gonna be knowing.
First of all, as a professional cheerleader, the terminology that they use really works on my nerves in this movie, because Courtney's like, full twisting layout. No one on earth ever calls a full twisting layout. You just call it a full. It's just like she like
have to twist with the full. Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
Because you already have to twist with the full,
right?
Yeah.
So she's like, because like a layout
is straight.
Yeah, and then a full you twist. So she's like, full twisting layout. Honey, just call it a full. Like, I know y'all are saying all of this to make it sound longer
Harder,
and more elaborate, but like, nobody says this. So that really worked on my nerves.
Get with the tunes, speaking of.
Right. So after they throw out this ridiculous tumbling pass at her, she's walking back, that she looks like she's about to leave, but she's creating room to do this pass.
Oh, right. And she
fully executes with grade A precision. Fantastic. She does a great job. And then they're like, oh my God, Missy is bank. After she does her pass.
Who says that? Torrance? Missy is bank.
Yeah, Torrance says that.
I wonder if this... Okay, because I don't think this is terminology. I wonder if this is similar to what they wanted Gabby to do, but like even crazier. Because Missy is bank, I don't think it's a lingo.
I don't know. Maybe in the 2000s.
Like, and they call, I don't know. And she also said something weird. She was like, Missy's the poo. And I was like,
take a big whiff.
Yeah. I'm just like, weird. I don't know if she was trying to. I didn't know if she was like not trying to curse, but like calling her the poo is just weird. I don't know. Every time she says it, I'm like, ew. Because Missy's the poo. So take a big whiff. But basically, Torrance wants her to join.
Yeah. Courtney and Whitney, they're like, more like bankrupt. We already picked Whitney's little sister.
Right.
No, we already picked Jamie,
which is a great best friend. She's like,
yeah. Whitney's like going. Oh,
she's
Courtney.
Right.
Sorry, Courtney.
Yeah,
Courtney's like more like
the blonde.
Yeah, the blonde. Whatever. The blonde is really going back for her best friend, little sister. She's like, we already picked Jamie.
Right. I wonder if Jamie wants to be on the team. She's like, whatever. It's fine.
Jamie's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then Torrance is like, sorry, honey, this is a democracy.
This isn't a democracy. This is a cheerocracy.
She's like, sorry, honey, this isn't a democracy. This is a cheerocracy, and I'm pulling rank. So,
and then Torrance is in.
Yeah,
Torrance.
So basically, no, actually. So then Courtney calls her an Uber. G word. And then Missy gets offended and she runs out. And then Courtney's like, I'm captain here. Missy's the poo, so take a big whiff. I'm pulling rank. If you don't like it, you could leave.
Right.
And then Torrance goes after Missy.
And then she goes after Missy to her home, which is a lot. Just see her next day at school, anywho. And then she knocks on Missy's door, and guess who answers? Cliff. Her future boyfriend, her love interest, this man that she met in third period earlier today that she's now in love with, answers the door.
And she's like, whoa, what are you doing?
She's like, what am I doing again?
Also, side note, their house is huge.
She's rich.
You don't see the house, but you could tell
she's rich.
From the inside how big that house is.
She's rich.
By the windows to the house
rich
are like 15 feet high.
That's money, honey.
They
rich.
Hella rich.
Yeah. And I do want to point out, so in this scene, I was like, Cliff reminds me of the guy from Clueless, you know.
For sure.
The guy that her stepbrother that she falls in love with. People say it's controversial. I'm into it. Whatever.
It's disgusting.
They make it like, well, yeah, whatever. But that's who he reminds me of.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's just like, oh, it's like he's giving the same energy.
Yeah.
But anywho, we meet him, and
so it's revealed that Cliff and Missy are brother and sisters. Yeah. Their house is huge. She's like, "Can I speak to Missy?" And he's like, "I guess."
And then basically, Torrance gets Missy to agree to join the team.
Right. She pleads her case. She was like, "Look, this is what we do. Is like next level stuff." She's like, "Yeah, we do a little gymnastics too.
Right.
But we also cheer.
Right.
You about it or what?"
We get what?
She's in. Yeah. She's like, and then Missy's like, you know what? I'm in.
Right. She's like, I honestly just want to be a cheerleader my whole life. I could go to a gymnastic gym, but I didn't want to. But yeah, I'm into it. And then
next scene.
I guess it's the next day. Missy's like sitting in on practice. She's new. She's checking out the routines.
Right.
And the Torrance do their routine. And in Missy's face, she's clearly upset.
Like her face is dropping.
Yeah, they're doing the bird. It's cold in here.
There must be some toros in the atmosphere.
I say,
O-E,
O-E,
O-E.
ice, ice, ice. And she's like, ew.
Oh, hell no.
She's like, oh, hell no. She grabs her stuff and she storms out.
And
no
then
explanation. She's out the door.
Courtney and Whitney, here they come
They're
again,
like,
hating
oh,
from the back of the club.
They're like, oh,
They're like, oh, is this what you want to bring to the team?
They're like, oh, look at your little new friend girl, huh?
Right.
Where's she at? She gone. She done left us.
Right. And then so Torrance is pissed because
obviously.
she's
like, I went to bat for you.
right. She's like, I stuck my neck out
it's
for
literally
you.
been 10 minutes practice started.
Right. You running out of here. I stuck my neck out for you, and here you are.
Yeah. And then Missy's like, did she say flat out right now?
I think, yeah.
Stolen?
She's like, so she runs after her, and Missy's like, your routines are stolen.
Missy is so funny because Torrance, this scene is so funny because Torrance like, let's fight. And Missy's like, no, please.
I'm like, girl, you don't stop playing with me, girl.
Yeah, Missy's like, girl, sit down.
down.
I'm
girl.
rich. And I'm from...
She's like, I'm from LA.
Yeah, girl. Exactly. She's like...
I might be rich, but I am still from LA.
Right. She's like, girls, get in a car. Let's go to Compton.
Right.
Compton.
So next, Missy and Torrance, they drive 102 miles, I think.
An hour drive, I would
to
say.
Los Angeles to see the East Compton Clovers.
Woo-hoo.
So they're there. They walk in the gym. They're like
right.
They're like ducked behind watching.
We see Gabrielle for the first time.
Right. We're introduced to Gabrielle's character, Isis, for the first time. They got a gym full of people. The gym look a little raggedy.
Yeah.
A little raggedy, But
they
they bring in the energy. They bring in the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
They hit the it's cold in here.
Right.
There must be some clovers in the atmosphere. I said, oh-wee.
Swag. Yes.
Ice.
They're bringing swag.
They're bringing the swag.
And then we see Torrance's faces, and she looks like she wants to throw
Oh,
up.
she looks like she saw Satan himself.
She is like, oh my God, our routines are stolen.
Right.
This is the end of my life. Because, she's 110%.
Cheer is her life.
Cheer is her life. And she is distraught.
She is distraught to see the same routine that her precious Toros perform.
Day after day, night after night.
Being performed by the East Compton Clovers. She is shooketh to the core. And I would also like to say, the Clovers were in fact performing a hip hop routine. That was not a cheer.
They was
doing hip hop. I was like, I couldn't even.
This is a
do that.
dance routine. Oh, yeah,
I was like, yeah, this is a dance routine. I was like, I could not do that.
They're giving all levels, but she's not as shook as she's going to be because some of the Clovers have seen
They spotted her.
They spotted these two white girls in their black gym. White people never come here, and they know what they're up to.
So they follow behind her, and they're like, "Did you guys enjoy the show?"
And she's like,
And then,
she's like, honestly, I just want to go home and cry. And now you guys are
right. Also, I didn't mention this in my notes. So the three girls that are with Gabrielle Union like throughout the movie, like her little like flunkies.
Yes, not flunkies.
Her crew. Her besties. They are in fact a musical group by the name of Black. It's not spelled like Black. It's spelled like Blaque.
Fun. Yes.
But their musical group Black. So they were casted in the movie as, play like the friends.
And then
a lot of people didn't know that. Oh. And then one of the members unfortunately passed away.
How am I saying her name? Natia Red. She played Julep. Janelope. She died. One of the other members, I do not remember her name. She was on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
One of the other, was on a season of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
She was fun.
And then the other one, we don't really...
Yeah. But one of them died in a car crash. Yeah. R.I.P. She's the one who said, you've been touched by an angel, girl.
She was the one who said, yes, were the ethnic festivities to your liking today?
Is that the one who says...
actually, no, she doesn't say that. That's not the one who says that.
I think she says, you've been touched by an angel, girl.
Okay, so back to what we were saying, right? So they show up, they're like, did you enjoy the show? Were the ethnic festivities to your liking today? And then Torrance is like, scared...
She's like scared, distraught.
Right. She's got a lot of emotions going on. And she's like, you guys were amazing. Yeah. And then Gabrielle Union's like really ready to share some trophies now. She coming with the shade. And then one of them's just like, can we just beat them down already so I can go home? She's like, girl, I'm on a curfew. Yeah. The Compton energy is coming out because they're ready to fight.
Which I'm not mad at them. Like, they have been getting winning routines and have
Right.
never won.
Right.
And not only they just see their routines on national television. Honestly, the Toros should be in jail.
Right. How? Yeah.
They should be banned from cheerleading. I don't know.
Right.
We'll talk about that later. But
Right.
honestly, I'd be ready to fight
How
too.
she got away with that for 5 years?
Like, you're stealing their art.
Right.
This is like, and you're winning trophies from it
Right.
and
That's
pretending to
wild.
be yours.
We
I
really-
would be ready to
Son,
fight.
that really is wild. And then, so they're ready
And
to
also, you're
fight.
stealing my money too, because we get prize money, and you're stealing my
Right.
money,
Right.
my art, my money,
And you know they need that
my
money.
success.
Right. My hard work.
Right. This
My
is
dedication.
this could go on my college transcript right here,
Right.
and y'all taking it for yourself.
That's ridiculous. So they talk about some, can we beat them down already? And then Missy's like, there's no need for that. Missy's so chill. Missy's like, look, there's no need for that. Son.
Right.
She
Missy was like,
Missy need to be on the Clovers too. She need
Missy
to be on
throughout
the
this
team.
whole movie is like very like nonchalant,
Right.
Like,
very like,
it is what it is. She's just like,
she honestly needs to be a member of the Clovers. Really.
Right. I guess, she's still rich, but she acts like she's seen all different types of lifestyle as opposed to Torrance, who lives, I guess, a suburban lifestyle.
Right.
Because Missy just like, all right, y'all, chill. So it's cool.
Right. And then so
Not
Isis
scared.
is like, you know what? She's right. We're not going to do that because we be no better than them.
Mm-hmm.
They can just feel good about themselves. Then she brings up Big Red.
With your big and your camcorder.
Yeah,
your
she
big
brings up. She
red,
calls her
every-
Raggedy Ann with the camcorder, jacking all their cheers.
Right.
And then Torrance is like, "What?" And then she's like, "Girl, don't act like you don't know." She's like, "Burr, it's cold in here. There must be some Tours in the atmosphere. Don't tell me you think a white girl made that up."
And she was like, hey,
Right. So now she's like realizing, okay, Big Red has been stealing their cheers.
yeah.
And then Isis, Gabrielle Union, delivers the line of the century. Every time we get something here, y'all come trying to steal it and put some blonde hair on it and call it something different. That was it.
Okay, cool. And then the Clovers let them leave. They're in the car.
You've been touched by
An
Angel Girl.
R.I.P. And then they're driving home. Missy is not taking anything serious.
She's like weak. She's like, girl, we almost got our butts kicked
Yeah.
right there, girl.
She throughout this whole movie, she does not take anything serious. She doesn't even. I think I saw her upset one time.
She does not care.
She does not care. She's like, LOL.
She's like, girl, was that not funny?
Yeah, she was like, oh my god, I knew you guys stole that routine. That's so crazy.
She's like, I knew I saw the routine
Torrance
somewhere.
could throw up.
Literally.
She's like very upset. Then she starts talking about why she thinks she's cursed.
Right, because she's like, and then Missy's like, it's just cheerleading.
It's just
and then
cheerleading,
Torrance
girl.
is like, I am, in fact, only cheerleading.
love the passion.
Yeah.
She knows what she wants, and she tells about
How
her
she
being
thinks she's
cursed.
cursed.
And then the story is that
We get a flashback to cheer camp.
cheer camp. It's very serious. I guess maybe this is the first year. I don't really know. I would assume it's the first year because they make her do something. I don't know if they dare them to do every cheer.
Yeah,
year.
it was like something about all the new seniors.
Oh, maybe.
So
okay.
it was, yeah.
So
It
she's
wasn't.
okay, right.
It was like that summer going into her senior
so
year.
Big Red dared her to grab the spirit stick and drop it
in front of the entire camp.
And so right now, these clear, they're obviously Texans from Texas. They're very like, oh, thank you for your hospitality. Y'all are so nice.
Y'all are so kind. Y'all are such an inspiration to us.
They're
We
clearly
love
from
y'all.
Texas.
We love Texas. We love the big hair.
They
We love Billy Bob and Jenny May. Y'all been so sweet.
Well,
to
I don't
us.
think they're from Texas, but obviously they're from Texas.
Right.
They have big hair. And they're trying to, I don't know.
I don't
Torrance
know
wants to
what-
take a picture
yeah.
with them. She's like, let's take a picture with the spirit stick. And they're like, bet. And she like reaches to give them the spirit stick and they reach to grab it, but she purposely drops it short so they can't catch it. And then they like, go diving for the spirit stick because they know the legend. If you drop the spirit stick, you are cursed. And they're trying to help her out. But they're like, hey, it's fine. You know what? Torrance picks it up. She tries to give it back to them. They're like, no, we don't want
They're
that
like, we don't
anymore.
want that girl. Mm.
And she's like, everyone knows whoever drops his spirit sticks, ghost Hades. Very dramatic. And Torrance is like, sure. But now she's clearly cursed. Let's do a recap. Day 1, she becomes head captain.
Oh, right.
Someone breaks her neck.
Right.
She hires a new girl. That goes well. Guess what? The routines are stolen.
She hires a new girl. That goes well.
Everyone hates her.
Everybody loves her. Yeah,
Everyone-
she's getting along with everybody swimmingly.
Yeah, had she not have hired her, she would have not have known that this routines were stolen.
And
The
now-
routines are stolen. And now she thinks she's Kurtz. I mean, it's day 4 of her being captain, probably,
Right,
and this has all happened. I would think I
she's
was
got a
Kurtz, too.
fair point. And then Missy's like, "Come on, urban legends." Missy's not really like into it, but it's how she feels.
Yeah, it's how she feels. And then next day at school, I don't know what the timeline is.
No. Okay, so when she gets home, she calls Aaron, her boyfriend, to tell him the awful news.
He doesn't answer.
But he's not answering the phone. He's not picking up the phone. Aaron is not answering.
Aaron he's away at college, girl. I don't know what to
Right.
tell you. You can't leave. Well, I guess you could have left a voice message back then, but it's just harder to, you can't text anybody. He's out in the town. He's probably studying. Who knows?
That is why you really couldn't text people. What she could do? Page them?
She would have to leave a voice message.
That's
and he would have to
wild.
check
You
it.
really couldn't text. That's wild.
And like for people who are like unorganized, that probably sucked.
yeah.
They just like never check their voice message. Just like, girl, I left you a voice message 2 weeks ago that your grandmother died, and you still haven't checked it. So
Right.
whatever. But yeah, he
Okay.
doesn't answer. And the next day, she goes to school to tell everyone, "OMG, guess what?"
Big Red screwed them all over and stole the cheers.
Mhm.
But the team really doesn't care.
No,
They're
one
like,
cares.
we're not about changing.
They're like, that's next year's problem. That's
all right. They're like, it's too late in the season.
too late to the season. We practice all year long with this routine, and that's routine. Torrance wants to change it. Literally everyone else wants to stick with it.
Right.
Missy's the only one who's like against it.
Yeah, Missy's like, y'all can't be serious.
Yeah, but they basically just guilt trip her, like
Right.
peer pressure her into.
They peer
Okay.
pressure and Missy and Torrance into
Into-
keeping
yeah.
the routines
So,
the same.
It is what
And
it is.
then Torrance also calls Aaron again,
She can't get in touch with him,
and he don't answer the phone.
and her brother. And of course, she does this in front of her little brother. She calls, and her little brother calls him gay.
Oh, he's like, your gay boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
And he's like, he's not gay.
He is literally the worst. He's so irritating. Could you imagine going through this, trying to get in touch with someone you think that can help you, and then your little brother, he's like, "Oh, he's so gay," and I'm like, I would like murder him.
Shut up!
Yeah, it's like a 16-year-old going through all this, and your little brother's like, "Your boyfriend's gay." I think I would have murdered him right there.
Right.
It killed him.
Okay. So then, next scene.
It's Missy's first practice or first game.
Oh yeah, it's
appearance.
Missy's first game. They go pick her up at her mansion.
She's not poor.
She's
okay.
outside. She comes outside. She's like all shy and timid in her new uniform. And they're in the car. It's Torrance, Jan, the hetero male cheerleader, and Les, the gay male cheerleader.
And they're just like bucking
and-
her up.
They're like backing her up. They're like, woo!
She does a
Show
little
it
show.
off! Woo, woo, woo. And then she gets all like, she's like dancing, and she's like, oh my god, maybe I am a real cheerleader. Maybe
think
I am
it's
cute.
I think that's my favorite part in the whole movie.
Yeah,
I think it's so cute.
It is adorable.
She's like shy. She's like covering her midriff.
Right, and they're like
opens
bucking
up.
her up, and then
It's
she's
so
like,
cute.
"Oh, yeah, that's cute." And then so they get in the car. They're all on the way to the game.
Yes.
and then they start talking about their
Who's gay, who's straight.
yeah, their
who's this-
sexuality.
Yeah.
and then Jan's talking about how he's always having to defend his sexuality because he's straight, while Les says he's gay, basically. And then Missy's like, this is where we have the
Yeah.
gay slur come in
Yeah.
once again. Talk about are you telling me you speak insert slur? And then Les is like, oh yeah, fluently.
Oh, because she didn't realize he was gay.
Yeah, she didn't know I don't think she knew he was gay. And she was like, are you telling me you speak
Oh,
slur?
right.
And then he's like, oh yeah, 100% fluently. I can't believe she said that. I'm like, girl, I'd have been like, man, what did you just say to
I
me?
can't believe she didn't pick out that he was gay. I guess not. I don't know.
He doesn't. I mean,
I guess she wasn't there when he was like, ooh, the little.
well, the ballerina girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then so Courtney's like, well, so then Missy's like, well, Jan, are you gay too? And he's like, no, honey. And then what was I fixing to say?
Get off your phone.
Sorry. Oh, so she's like,
Not
Courtney,
mid-podcast, you're like, and Instagram. She's like, what did I say? I don't know. You just open Instagram.
So next scene, we're at the football game. No one's there to actually see the football team because they literally suck. Everyone's just seeing the Toros in all their
Yes.
glory. Missy's a little nervous. It's her first game. She's there. You can see the nerves all over her
she's like
face.
freaking out.
Cliff is in the crowd with a book.
Supportive brother. I'm into
I
it.
don't know. I don't think that's why he's there. I think he's doing the same thing that Torrance's little brother is doing when he had the cheerleading equals death shirt on. I don't think he's there to be supportive. I don't know. It's like weird. It's like, why are you here? Because he has a book.
Well,
Why are you
yeah.
reading a book during the game? Who does that?
Well, everyone's he's cool.
He's there for Torrance. He's not there for his sister.
Right? Well, a little bit of both. Two birds, one stone.
Because while he's in the crowd and Missy's looking nervous, he's like laughing at her. He's like,
I mean, that's a brother though.
Whatever. I thought it was rude. I didn't like it.
I feel like they're like almost the same person. So it's like
they're
like
are
almost like twins to me. Almost it is
they
like
probably are twins. I've never thought about that. They probably
they're
are
very
twins.
close in age, but it's just probably him like
no, they're in the same grade. I would have to assume they probably are actually twins.
they are in the same grade.
I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, maybe so. But it's just like probably seeing his like why are you in a skirt right now? Right. Just like it is probably funny because it's like
because
look
he knows
at you.
who she is and he's like, look at you being this preppy cheerleader.
Like that's
not you.
That's not you at all.
Yeah.
He probably joked. But
so he's being a little condescending little twat in the crowd.
But in the and then at the very beginning of the game, the football team gets into a fight with other football teams.
Oh yeah, so the football team versus the rival football team because they have a brief exchange. They're talking about the male cheerleaders are over there scamming on all your squirrel, and
they fight.
They have a fight.
How dare you challenge my masculinity as a 16-year-old?
Right. And then while the football players are having their little scuffle, the cheerleaders, the Toros, and also the rival cheerleading team are having a cheer off. The rival cheerleading team says something about, guess what? You really, really suck. And then that's when they come in with that's all right. That's okay. You're going to pump our gas someday. Okay, so then the football team's losing. Shocker.
And then we see Torrance and Cliff have quote unquote cheer sex. Quote unquote.
Literally, they're doing a cheer. Knock them down, roll them around. Come on, defense, work. And Cliff and Torrance are literally having googly eyes at each other from across the way. He's in the crowd, she's on the field, and they're like making love via eyes.
Right, and the two.
And then Courtney and Whitney, here they come hating from the back of the club again. They peeping game.
Yeah.
They seeing them making googly eyes at each other. Then they want to talk about I can't believe you would do that to Aaron.
They're so messy.
I can't stand them too. And then she saying, what?
They're so messy.
So enter the Clovers.
Crappeth has hitteth the fanneth.
Right, enter the Clovers. They're coming in from the stands while the Toros are doing their little cheer. So they're walking down the little steps, the Clovers, and then now they're in the front of the bleachers, and they start doing the exact same cheer as the Toros.
Yeah, and they are here to prove that the Toros have stolen their cheers.
Right. All right, we're sweet. We got the whip. We can't be beat. We're the best. Our team's so cool. We got the class to rock this school. Clovers. Oh, yeah. We bad. We got the team. We can't be had. We're the best, so score them points. You win the game. We'll rock this joint. Toros. Go Toros. Go Toros. Go, go, go Toros. Clovers. Go Clovers. Go Clovers. Go, go, go Clovers. Our game is fierce and we are hip, so get back. We can't touch this. Our game is bad. We're without peers, so get that weak mess out of here. Tried to steal our bit, but you look like, because we're the ones who are down with it.
And then obviously
the crowd goes silent at this point.
Yes. Torrance
Can you imagine, son? Can you imagine? You're doing a cheer. Here comes this other cheer team. They storm down doing the exact same thing.
Honestly, wouldn't know what was going on. I wouldn't have assumed that they stole their cheers. I would have been like, that's
actually, you're
strange.
Right. I'd have been like, oh.
Yeah, interesting.
Actually, you're right.
I would have been like, okay.
But in the grand scheme of the film,
this
was
shock,
like, whoa.
Shooketh.
Everybody was shook.
And then Torrance was like, should we get a
She's
routine?
like, okay, who's all here for a new routine, girl? Everybody raised their hand. The cheerleaders and the people in the fans raising their hands that they need to get a new routine.
Girl, you don't have to do something about that.
And then here come Courtney. If we have to do a new routine, I quit.
Bye, girl.
Bye, Courtney.
Someone showed the dough.
We tired of you, girl.
But that night, so Torrance sleeps over at Missy's.
Yeah, she's upset.
Who also still is not taking anything serious.
Missy does not care.
She's like, LOL, they came for y'all tonight.
She's like, oh my goodness, are we gonna have a cheer off? Like, Missy do not care.
She does not take anything seriously.
She don't give no.
And then Torrance is upset, visibly upset, could throw up.
And then Missy basically tells Torrance that her breasts stink, and that she needs to go brush her teeth. And then Torrance is like, oh my God. So she walks off to go, brush her teeth to the bathroom. She walks past Cliff's room. He's playing the guitar very loudly and poorly.
He's like freestyling. He's just like feeling the beats.
Freestyling.
It's like
terribly.
It's like
There
free
is no
jazz,
beat.
but free guitar.
It was awful.
It's like,
so she's watching
she's
him.
into it.
She's like, oh yeah. She's getting all hot and heavy.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah, play the guitar. And then he sees her.
No, Missy walks by and catches her watching him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what are you doing? Then he turns around, sees her watching him, and then now she's all embarrassed and frazzled. And then she's like, I don't know, where's the bathroom?
She's like,
and then Missy's like,
the place with the bath.
She's like, it's over there, son.
The bathroom and the sink and the toilet, that's over there.
And then so she's brushing her teeth. First of all, I don't know why he came into the bathroom while she was in there.
Okay, this scene.
Knock, boy.
I guess this is where he brushes teeth, and they just have this erotic teeth brushing scene.
They have this very intense chemistry while they're brushing. And then so she goes back to the room with Missy, and then Missy's like, are you into my brother?
She's like,
and then she's like, no.
Gross.
I have a boyfriend.
Yeah. She's like, we just brushed our teeth together. Relax.
Right.
Nothing. It was in that. It was normal.
She had to remind herself she had a man.
Right. Because honestly forgot about it.
Right.
Everyone's forgetting she has a boyfriend. She forgot she has a boyfriend. The boyfriend's forgetting that he's a boyfriend.
Right.
It's just whatever.
Okay, so then the next scene, speaking of her boyfriend, he finally answers the phone.
This is probably week 1. He's probably not answered his phone this whole week, if I had to guess.
Probably. So he finally
just got to college. Could you imagine you going to college? You're supposed to call me. He's like, hey, I got settled in. He's like, hasn't talked to her at all since his move to college.
That's true.
Lame.
So he finally answers the phone. She runs him the whole story about the cheers being stolen, blah, 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 blah. He's like, calm down, Tor. He gives her the number to this choreographer by the name of Sparky Pilastri. While he's on the phone with her, he's got a girl in a bed talking about who you on the phone with? And then he whispers, oh, it's my sister.
Right.
He told a girl he on the phone with his sister.
He's so gross.
That's terrible. That is deplorable. He said it's my sister. And he talking to her like, he's like, love you.
Right. Like, but also he gives her terrible advice.
Terrible advice.
Where did he find Sparky Pilastri from? Pilastri from? Because honestly, is everyone here a con artist? First Big Red, now you're hanging out with liars, pants on fires.
Right, I don't know.
Stolen routine man. It's ridiculous. This is the first start of him getting bad advice. It only goes downhill from here. He's a terrible boyfriend.
So then after she basically gets in contact with Sparky Pilastri, they need $2,000 to pay him for his choreography efforts. So they do a car wash.
Oh no. First they ask the rich girl.
Oh right.
For $1,000 from her dad.
That's the hot one, Darcy, for $1,000.
Which, honestly, if you're asking someone's parent for $1,000, just ask for the whole $2,000.
Right.
Why only do half?
What? Okay, so here's my thing that I'm just. I have never in my life. This is unheard of. Why do they not have a coach? It's literally just them. It's just them.
A student faculty to watch over them.
They have this should not be in their hands. The captain should not have to call the choreographer.
Honestly.
And they don't have a coach.
Honestly.
It's just these teenagers freeballing it as they go.
But if they had a coach, I mean, I would hope the moment they found out their routine was stolen, it'd have been done. I think they would have went to the principal. I think they'd be like, look, this
if they had a coach, they would have had a real choreographer, not Big Red, and they would have had like actual routines that would have actually been authentic.
Well, see, I could, you know what? If they had a coach, I could see like Big Red come be like, "Oh, I made this routine, blah blah blah." But, what are you doing with that phone? but I feel like if they had a coach and they found out the routines were stolen, it'd have been a wraps.
Yeah,
she'd have been like, "Well, hold on." If it was a good coach, but if it was like a crazy,
if they had a coach, they wouldn't even. It would haven't even gotten to that point if they had a coach.
I think it's fair that they could have created their own routine, quote unquote.
That they could have.
Could have.
That's what I'm saying. Like they wouldn't be stolen routines because if they had a coach.
Well, no, but here I'm Big Red. Oh, cheer captain. I just came up with this routine the other night. Blah blah blah. She could. She could be lying. We don't have to know. Right. Like I don't have to. I'm sure I'm sure she's not coming to practice with the stolen routines like we're doing this. I'm sure she's like showing them like she just came up with it. She didn't have to call the coach that it's stolen.
Wait, what?
She doesn't have to tell the coach that it's stolen. The coach could also be thinking that she's coming up with this organically.
But even if there was a coach, I feel like the coach wouldn't even have given her that much autonomy to come up with an entire routine.
Really?
Maybe a little bit here and there, but to come up with the whole routine, the whole nationals routine, no, she ain't giving her that much. You ain't coming up with this whole national routine, girl. You're 17.
It's a lot of responsibility. Maybe her senior year, but I don't know. Yeah. But it seems like she's been doing this for years.
Right.
But also, why not ask her dad for the whole 2000? Why are we just
They're all rich. I don't know why we even need a car wash.
Ask your dad for your Discovery card and swipe it, girl. But yes, they do a car wash. And Cliff shows up. And he comes to flirt with Torrance. He comes
with the most filthiest car I've ever seen in my entire life. He literally went to like a mud derby or something.
He hasn't washed it since he drove it up from LA. Basically,
he hasn't. Oh my goodness.
And Torrance has a really cute bathing suit on it. When I was watching it, I was like, "Oh man, that bathing suit is so cute. It's so like such a good representation of the time, of the 2000 time.
Yeah,
it's like
this very 2000.
I don't know. It's like pink and it's like has maybe flowers on it, but like I don't know. It's cutesy.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
Okay, so next, after we've done the car wash, Cliff
they raised their $1,000.
Toro flirt. Yeah, they raised their $2,000. Now it's choreography day. Now we're introduced to the one and only Sparky Pilastri. Yes. He walks in. It's very dramatic. He don't speak. He don't say nothing. He just busts out dancing.
To show off his skills. Box. He was like, "This is what you're working with."
He looks crazy. The man doesn't. He walks in. He doesn't say anything.
All he does is press
play on the boombox and starts dancing.
And they let him do it. And they don't fire him.
He looks like a fool. He looks like
that's when they should have been like, "No, dude, give me my $1,000. You can keep the 1,000, but give me the other 1,000 because we're gonna hire someone else because this is ridiculous."
So after all of that, girl, he read them girls.
He's mean and he's off to the insults.
He tells them all to line up as he reads each of them to filth one by one. He tells Casey, weak ankles. Courtney, one of your calves is bigger than the other. Random girl, she got too much makeup on. Another random girl, she ain't got enough makeup on. Whitney, the blonde. He says, "What's with your skin? Say it with me. Sunlight." He called her pale, basically. Jan and Les, the two male cheerleaders. He's like, male cheerleaders, enough said. He gets to Missy, he tells her to smile. And he's like, never mind, don't smile. Then he gets to Darcy, the hot one. And then he's like, okay. He's like, good general tone, muscular. Right. You look good. Then he takes one look at her butt. And then he's like, report that butt before it gets too big. It forms its own website. He said, report all that to your butt, girl. Because that butt about to got his mind of his own. He's wrong for that.
Website.
And then he gets to Torrance, and he's like, you're the captain. You're going to need more work than anyone. And he is ruthless.
Yes. And he's just doing a lot. He shows us his spirit fingers. He's very serious about spirit fingers. These aren't spirit fingers. But these are spirit fingers, which aren't that much different. He just popped them out harder the second time.
He said, these aren't spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers. And these are gold.
Yeah. He teaches them a dance. It's literally terrible.
Oh my God. Basically, he's just like going in on them. Like they're just having a horrible day with him. He tells everybody that they need to go on a diet. He yelling at them. While he yelling at them, he popping pills. He's throwing chairs.
They're doing dumb stuff with their dances.
Yeah,
it's not even like he's doing all this and the routine is scrumdiddlyumptious. It is like a stupid routine. Fun. Yeah, but it's like a dumb routine. It's not even worth it routine.
Right.
It's terrible. And at this point, I asked why they just couldn't come up with their own routine. I'm just like, y'all could have just made something up. Because they eventually did. I mean, yeah, I was just like, why not at this point? Just like, it's just, I guess it would be easier for someone to come up with a routine for you, but like, at this point, just make something up. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know why.
So
the next day, or from some time, it's their first cheerleading competition.
No. Skip a chunk here. So after they learn the routine, Torrance and Missy, they're practicing the routine at Missy's house. And Missy's like, I'm not with it. She's like, F these spirit fingers, I'm not about this life. And so she goes in the house. Then Cliff comes out. Her and Cliff have a nice little moment. They exchange words. They almost kiss. They look at each other all lovingly, and then Missy comes back out. And then right before they were about to kiss, Missy comes out, and she's like, okay, I'm in it again. I'm back. I think that was important. That was important to the storyline because they had a moment. That was an important moment. They almost kissed.
Sure.
That was important. Now
it's their first cheerleading competition.
We're at nationals. Now they're at regionals. Okay. Now we're here at
honestly, they're like walking in, and I have anxiety. Ugh. It reminds me when I used to play like volleyball, and I used to go to competitions.
Yeah.
And it's just the anxiety of trying to win. All these people.
Yeah, it gave me anxiety too.
It's like anxious. Just like
there was just teams everywhere. It was just
people everywhere. You have to perform. God, I hate that scene.
Yeah, and then Missy's looking very nervous. She's looking very much out of her element.
Yeah, she's like in a new world right now.
Yeah, she ain't never seen nothing like this before.
Yeah, she's like seeing girls,
even though she should have seen something very much similar to this at gymnastics.
Right? She's like, she's looking around like this is a whole different breed of girl.
Right?
They're like fighting. They're like stressed out.
And this is again where I'm watching it. I'm just like, why don't they have a coach? It's like the coach is supposed to register them for the competition.
Yeah.
Get them there. It's just like, I'm like, why are they doing this by themselves?
Right. When, like, for example, when, like, Carver, like, breaks her neck, there should have been a teacher there.
There should have been an adult there. They're all minors.
Yeah. Someone should have provided, like, incident report.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Someone should have been there.
Exactly.
Like, who had, like, she went in an ambulance. Someone had to call her parents and be like, your daughter could have died today. Yeah. But she didn't. Right. But, like, adults should have been.
There should have been
especially with times when people get injured to the point where they break their neck and somehow her feet as well.
Exactly.
Her legs.
So there's no coach, whatever. Courtney and Whitney are doing whatever they do. Acting crazy.
Yeah.
And then the Clovers enter.
It's a very slow intro. It's like, so they slow it down. It's very cool. Very kick, but... and Torrance is very nervous. Yeah. Because she knows they have the upper hand.
Right. She knows they're good. They walk in, everyone's shook. They're like, oh my goodness.
Right. She knows she probably knows they're going to beat them. And she knows that she probably thinks they're going to beat her up, beat her in the cheer. And she knows that they know that she's, they usually have a stolen routine. Right. That's kind of anxious. Could you imagine seeing the people you stole from at a cheerleading competition? It's a lot.
Okay. So... basically, it's time for everyone to perform. Here's what I saw from the Clovers.
Here's what I saw.
And their routines.
Here's what I saw.
So they do their routine. This is what I saw. I saw a lot of standing tucks. I saw a toe touch basket. I saw a basket full, which was good. I saw some backhand spring tucks. Saw a full up, some toss libs, but nothing too crazy. They didn't do. It's regionals. Okay, this is the nationals. They were doing just simple stuff, a lot of clean stuff across the board. Good job. Okay. Now, for the Toros.
Well, okay, let's first say, like, they're, like, interviewing with, like, this lady from, I'm sure, like, Cheer ESPN. And so after they hear their music being played, and they're like, that's strange, because we're not up there.
Right, we're not on deck here.
We're not on deck yet. So they run to the front.
To see what's going on.
Lo and behold, that there's another team doing their exact routine.
And they are...
Shooketh.
I would be... to the core. Can you imagine? I really could... Oh, my God. So my heart really would have fell to my foot. Like...
I mean, honestly, they probably shouldn't have gone on.
They probably shouldn't have, but they probably would have been disqualified. So then they go on after them.
It's directly after.
They go directly.
It's not even like 5 routines later. It's like, didn't we hear this one? It's like, oh yeah, we literally just saw this. You can't even let people go to, like, people who went to the bathroom. You can't even let, like, a new group of people come. It's just like the same group of people. Right. Just like literally just saw this.
Right. So while the first team, while they're doing the routine, the Toros are watching from the sidelines. Torrance sees Aaron and Cliff in the crowd.
Oh, right.
Cliff is at every event. I'm starting to realize.
He's supporting his sister.
I guess. So she sees Aaron and Cliff. They both wave at her. Mm-hmm.
She blows a kiss basically to Aaron, but Cliff thinks he's blowing it to her, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, wait, oh,
You're very serious.
She's blowing a kiss at me. Are we in love? Are we dating?" He's like, "Oh, this is getting serious."
Yes.
She wasn't blowing it at Chusan. She was blowing it at her boyfriend.
And
but
then,
anywho.
And then she also brings up the curse again. Like, she is cursed. It's like number 3.
Right. She's like, it's a curse.
I mean, this is the trifecta of curses. But
so they go on. They go on. They deliver that. First of all, the routine is horrible.
It is. It's not even good.
The music is terrible. It's ugly. The choreography is trash. They do nothing that looks good. I was like, where is the cheerleading in this? Like, I don't remember seeing a flip.
Ugly dance moves. Yeah.
It's just horrible.
It's just weird.
It's
just
so
like
ugly.
And like, why wouldn't they even like, okay, let's change this. Okay, let's change this. Okay, let's change this. They just like kept it 110%.
It's ugly.
Y'all have no creativity on this team where I kind of be like, all right, this is what we got, but let's change some stuff around. No.
Right. So they deliver the exact same routine.
Little crazy.
Big Red sees. Big Red is there. Big Red is...
Oh, and the Clovers make fun of how stupid they look, too. But yeah.
The who?
The Clovers make fun of how stupid they look.
I heard the Clovers. I was like, girl, who's the Clovers?
The Clovers make fun of how stupid they look, too.
Because they did look stupid.
Yeah, they're like having the time of their life.
Yeah, they throw in mad shade. Big Red is there. Big Red is shocked. The crowd is shocked.
Can I say, why did no one call up Big Red and be like, I can't believe you guys have stolen routine.
Right.
F you. F the cheer that you're doing. How dare you? Like, why was she not...
Right, like why is this the first time she's
right,
being confronted about
because if I was a cheerleader and like our old captain gave us a stolen cheer routine, I would at least address it. I was like, did you steal this routine? Because they're saying you stole this routine. They just like believe the freaking Clovers off bat. I'd be like, is this routine stolen? Yes or no? Because we've been doing this. Can you at least clarify? They just like act like she went to Mars or something. Like she just like can't be called up. We're just like, okay, I guess it's stolen.
That can't be called up.
Like, call her up.
But yeah, so she's shocked. The whole crowd is shocked. Torrance runs off the stage in tears. It's the whole 9 yards. So after all this mess goes down, Torrance is pulled aside by some important man.
He's got
credentials. He's got a name tag.
He's a president, I'm sure, or something.
Yeah, he over the regional competition, whoever. He basically runs her the story that Sparky Pilastri has been going around the entire country for some time with this
East Coast
with this stolen routine.
Up and down.
And he's talking about how they should disqualify her.
They should.
But there's nothing in the rule books about it, so they can't technically. It's just frowned upon.
You know what's funny?
What?
It's like fun. It's ironic because, every year they've done a stolen routine. And this is the first year they've been caught. For trying to... Like, all they know is stolen routines. Right. But this is, like, the first time they're saying it.
This is actually nothing new. This is just the first time everyone's aware that it's stolen.
It's just like...
But it's been stolen every
before.
year.
They're like, oh, my God, this, like, never happened. But it happens every year. It happens every year. Last couple years. It's funny.
That is funny.
It's like a full circle.
Right.
Because at first I felt bad for them. But I actually don't, because they should get in trouble for having stolen routines, even though, like, this is not the one they, mainly stole. But...
Right, so basically the guy's like, do not come to nationals with this routine, a stolen routine, or anything of the sort, honey.
Yes.
And then she's like, yes, I understand. And again, this is where I'm like, why is this man talking to her? Where is the captain? Why are you telling this to a 17-year-old girl?
The teacher.
Where is the coach?
Yeah, the
like,
coach.
why are you telling this to a child? It's just like, this responsibility should not fall on this girl's 15, shoulders.
16, right.
Yes, like, she's 17 years old.
Yeah. And basically the only reason they're able to go to the Nationals is because they've won last year from a stolen routine. But they don't know that. But so they're able to move on despite probably... Their scores are probably crap, but they just automatically make it to the finals because of their past record of being good.
Yeah. So then Torrance is met by Aaron and Big Red, and
she gets yelled by her.
Big Red goes off on her. Aaron tries to defend her a little bit. He doesn't do that great of a job.
I hate Big Red. She's such a Karen.
Right. She's like, how dare you make me look bad and bring up the fact that I've stolen these routines.
Right.
But I've stolen these routines and never got caught.
Yeah.
So what's your point?
Yeah, she's like defending the fact that these routines are stolen. She's like, yeah, and what?
Like, she was like, yeah, so what? And then so she basically tells her.
She's like, yeah, they're black.
Because
So
Torrance brings up to her how she stole the routines, but she doesn't care. She doesn't take any accountability. And she's talking about how she even says how she's a real leader. She's like, I was the real leader here. Ma'am. Come on now. And then she had the audacity, the gall, the chutzpah to say, if I made any mistakes as a squad leader, it wasn't borrowing, not stealing. She says borrowing. Borrowing a few cheers. It was naming you as my successor. Girl, we'd have been scrapping. I'd have been like, girl, meet me outside.
You didn't name me as your successor. I was voted, honey. So relax. You're not that. Like,
right. You didn't. I was voted. Okay, I was elected to this position. Calm down. So then Torrance runs off again. She runs off a lot in this movie.
Right.
This is like the third time she's run off today.
And then Aaron goes to talk to her. He basically tells her to, he's stepped down as captain.
Right. He's like, first of all, he fills her head with all this blah, 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 foo-foo bull crap. And is like, I know I haven't been around, but I still love you. I want you to know that. I know I haven't been present like I should, but I still care about you. And she's like, you do? And he's like, of course. Then he hits her with the carve ball and is like,
he said carve ball.
Curveball. I said carveball. Uh-oh. Then he hits her with the curveball. And it's like, but by the way, I think you should step down as captain and just give it over to Courtney and Whitney. Because they're just like Big Red, and you should do what you do best, Tor. You cheer, Tor.
He is a douchebag.
He is the worst human being ever. He is terrible. He is terrible. And she's like, what?
Yeah, it's also confusing because he seems like he doesn't care, but he cares enough for her to be like, to tell her to quit.
Right.
He's like, give up. It's like, dude, he's like,
but it's like, you put her in this position. You're the one who gave her Sparky Pulaski's contact information.
You're sleeping with other girls. Why do you even care what I do?
Right.
Get out of here. Go back to college.
Right. He's like, maybe you're not cut out for this. But he's literally the reason why she's in this predicament.
Exactly.
You gave her the man's number.
Her.
Oh
she's
my
like, maybe
God.
not. What? She's like, I confided in you.
Right. I asked you for help, and you're the one who gave me this man's number.
Right. Wait, I never thought about that. It's like wait, this is your advice.
Like, this is your guy.
You should be apologizing to me.
Sparky's your dude.
You should be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You should be on your hands and knees.
Yeah, that's so funny. Good point, because I never thought of it like that.
But I guess when him and Big Red when Big Red was like reading her to Phil, he was trying to say then, he was like, hey, I was the one who gave, he was trying to say that, and she was like, shut up. She cut him off, but that's what he was trying to say. Yeah. But still.
No, right. He just probably doesn't like Big Red, if more than anything.
Right.
But then, so Erin brings Torrance home, and then she gets caught kissing him by Cliff. No other than Cliff.
Because he's sitting outside new boyfriend. Her house. Right.
Her new crush. Flowers. Her lover. Cliff. Wait. And to the shock of Cliff, she has a boyfriend. How did he not know that she had a boyfriend?
She never says it.
Missy knows that he has a... Why did Missy not mention, hey, she has a girlfriend? Like, Missy's a bad sister. Right. Like, how did that never get brought up?
Right.
Torrance didn't have to bring it up. But the fact that...
It just never came up in conversation.
Yeah, like clearly your brother likes the girl. He came and saw her to Google her at the car wash. Why didn't he be like, she has a boyfriend?
Right.
Thanks, Missy.
I mean... Plot holes, I guess.
Right. I mean, like, someone... Like, what? Like, how does that never...
So, Cliff is very upset to see that she, in fact, has a boyfriend. He's sitting outside with flowers, a gift.
And Torrance?
And she's like...
Honestly, this is a lot of pressure. It is crazy that she didn't do anything crazy to herself. Because, honestly, this is a lot of pressure for a high school / 16-year-old girl.
She's a senior, so she's not 15.
16, 17?
You're maybe. Like 17, 18.
17. For a 17-year-old girl doing all this, I wouldn't be surprised she jumped off a cliff.
Right. That is true. That's a lot. That's a lot in a 17-year-old world.
And while in 17, you think this is the end all be all.
Right.
One, she already puts cheerleading on a pedestal.
I mean, she's already said it's her life.
Yeah, and then all of it's failing, and then her boyfriend is clearly not working out with her, but her new love interest it's just like I'd be like, you know what?
That is. I'm done. That's a spiral.
I'd be like,
that is a spiral.
Parents, I need to move away because I cannot do this. It's just, And before Cliff leaves, he gives
her the flowers and a tape, and he walks off.
A cassette tape. Very retro of him.
And then she starts to cry.
Of course, I'm not sure why she hadn't been crying. I'd have been crying in the car.
Yeah,
I'd have been crying the moment that cheerleading.
She handles this all very well.
Yeah, the cheerleading coach, sponsor, president,
the important regional I'd have judge
guy.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I'd have been boo-hooing.
So she gets in the house. She gets in her room.
She listens to the.
She plays the tape,
and the song is 10 out of 10. It's amazing.
Yeah, he writes a song for her. The song goes hard.
Someone sign him.
Son, he needs a record label.
Sign him.
Like, where's Quincy Jones? Where's Death Row Records? Somebody needs to sign him because that song be slapping.
It's amazing.
And she jamming out to the song. She got her pom-pom. She's shaking them in the room. Mm-hmm. And I also would like to point out, in her room, she has 1,000,001 stuffed animals, and it is weird.
It is weird.
She has like 100 stuffed animals.
She acts very mature, but then she has all that. So
grow up.
She's like dancing to it in the bed. She's like really likes it.
She's into it.
Yeah. But the next day we're back at practice, and
Whitney and Courtney are back on their bull. Shh. Okay.
And we learned that Aaron called. Not only did he suggest to Torrance that Whitney and whatever the names are should take over, he called them and told them that Torrance is no longer going to be the captain, and you guys can be captain now.
Right. They walk up to her talking about some thanks. Aaron called us last night that you're handing over the team.
Excuse me?
Never said those words. She never said that.
Never that. Do you know how hard it was for her to get Aaron on the line? But he, within an instant, is able to call these two girls.
Oh, that's a point, son. That's a point.
And be like,
that's a point.
She doesn't want to be captain now. 2, you're not in high school. You're not part of this cheer team.
Right.
You're Bailey, my boyfriend. How dare you?
Like, who are you? Like, why are you still in a high school cheer drama? You are now in college. Like, why are you worried about what we're doing? That's a point. He was not picking up the phone, but he had no trouble calling them.
He probably even called checking on her after he dropped off.
Girl, that's wild.
But he called them two girls. He was like, y'all can have the thing.
He ain't it. That ain't it.
But why does he even?
Why
care?
is he involved? Like, you're not on this team anymore. You're not in college.
You clearly. Do you even like Torrance? Like, I'm so confused.
Right. You cheating on her anyway. So why you press? What's going on? That's wild to me.
Why you care? So Torrance is like, oh, hell to the no.
She gives a speech. She's basically like, I'm not resigning.
Yes.
Sorry.
Right. And the girls also, they want to forfeit too. They want to just be
like, right. And Courtney and Winnie, we're like, we're going to forfeit.
Which is fair.
Oh, yeah. That's what.
Which is like, that's a good option.
And that's when Torrance is like, no, sorry. That won't be happening. I'm not forfeiting. Yeah. I'm not resigning. We're going to figure this out. We're going to go to nationals. And we're gonna do what we do best.
Yeah. Steal? Okay, no.
So basically,
they decide to come up with a new routine.
Right. We have this nice movie montage.
Which is fine. Wait, hold on. Can we talk about how much time they have to make this movie? I mean, this new routine?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. That's crazy. They have no music. They have no. They have nothing. They have no music. They don't know how to come up with anything original, which is why I would suggest
they have no creative brains whatsoever.
They have nothing.
They've never had to think ever in their lives.
They just have skill, which is it's a big part of it, but they don't know how to do that. It's just like but which is why Torrance is like, we're gonna watch dances from movies and stuff to incorporate into the
She's like, we're pulling from every which angle,
pulling, borrowing,
right?
Stealing,
we're getting inspired from every which angle.
Exactly, because that's all they could do at this point because they cannot come up with their own things. They have no original thoughts.
So basically, they have a nice little movie montage. Yes. They devote every waking hour to practicing before school, between classes, after school. We see them. They're studying every type of movement from swing dance, interpretive dance, to mime, to martial arts, to musicals. Godet is putting in the work to come up with this little 3-week national routine, okay? So, basically, after the little movie montage, Torrance pulls up on Aaron.
Yes.
She pulls up.
At his dorm room.
She pulled up on him.
To confront him.
I have this written really weird. So she goes to visit him. He was like, oh, I'm super busy. That's what he tells her. Oh, he's like, I'm super busy right now. And she's like, oh, you're super busy. Right. But you weren't too busy to, sell me out to Courtney and Whitney.
Right, facts.
You weren't busy when you gave me Sparky Pilastri number. You wasn't busy when you had this girl up in your room.
Right. And she catches she like opens the door.
Yeah, she opens the door. She sees a girl in the room. And she's like, you know what? Kiss my butt, Aaron. It's over. She's like, you know what? You're a great cheerleader, but maybe you're just not boyfriend material.
And she outs him as a male cheerleader.
And then the girl he's got in the room, and she's like, oh, you're a male cheerleader?
Not the fact that she's not like, oh my God, you have a girlfriend? She's like, oh my God,
you're a cheerleader?
And she's like,
I'm going to need her to let go of that stigma. I was like, ma'am.
Like, priorities, sis.
Right. Where are they?
But fine, whatever. F him. Go ahead and tell the whole college that he's a male cheerleader. Which I feel like being a male cheerleader in college is way better. Cause it's like...
Yeah, I feel like being a male cheerleader in college is pretty cool.
Yeah. You get more open-minded people. You get the people who are really into football, whatever.
So... Next scene, the Toros, they're in the gym, they're working out. Missy comes in. She drops the news that the Clovers aren't going to nationals because they don't have the money. And Torrance and Missy, they're like, oh my God, this is... Like, no, they have to go. Yeah. Like, they're pissed. And then Jan, the hetero male cheerleader, is like, Torrance, what's the big deal? They don't go. We win. We're the best once again.
If you think you're in the situation, what train of thought would you be on?
I'm like, thank God.
I would be like, thank God, too.
I'd be like, praise Jesus. There is a shimmer of light in this dark year of cheer that we have had.
I'd have been like, great.
I'd have been like, thank God.
But you know what? White guilt. And they're like,
it's strong, honey.
If we don't play the best, we can't be the best.
She was like, yeah. And then Torrance was like, I define being the best as going against the best. If we don't go against the Clovers, then we're not the best.
I know. She's such a good leader. Good for you, girl. I'd be like, she's admirable, because I'd have been like, well,
like, good for her.
I guess, sis.
And then Jan's like, sure, I guess, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
And then Torrance basically guilt trip her dad into company into donating money for the Clovers.
Sponsor the Clovers,
And she has this, like, basically this white savior complex. She's like, I have to save the day. I guess she's just trying to get over her white guilt and them like scamming them all these years, basically.
Right.
And then somehow she gets her dad, to agree, and they raise the money, and she goes to deliver the check to the Clovers, and it just doesn't go the way she thought it did.
Right. They're in the gym. They're all cluttered around in a circle. Meanwhile, while she's about to deliver this money to them, they're writing a letter to Pauletta.
Yes.
Which
is basically the Oprah.
Which is the Oprah of this movie. Yeah. They're writing a letter to Pauletta asking her to, give them a check so they can go to regionals. So when Torrance walks into the gym while they're writing their letter, Isis gets up. She walks over to her.
I hate that name.
Isis. Yeah, it's weird. And then Isis is like, what is this, hush money? And then Torrance is like, no, I got my dad to sponsor you guys. And then she rips up the check. And then
she's like, thank you, but no thank you.
And then Torrance is like, why are you so mean? And then Isis is like, girl, please. And she's basically just like, if you want to make it right, then when you go to nationals, bring it.
Right.
Movie title. And
it's already been brought in.
Right. Now it's already been brought in. It's already been brought in. But brought She's basically like, when we go to nationals, bring it. Don't slack off because you feel sorry for us. Because when we will beat you at the end of the day, you'll know because we're better.
Number one.
And then Torrance is like, oh, I'll bring it, sis. Don't worry. And then Isis is like, I never do.
She was like, I haven't. Since I became captain, I knew I was going to run this. Right. Honestly, me as Torrance, I'm like, someone's going to have to spend this check because I'm not going back to my dad and telling him that this check, they didn't want it. Because I'm sure he had to beg. He had to talk to people at his company, beg them to donate it, and to come back and be like, yeah, they didn't want it. It's not an option. Someone's spending this check. I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to cash it because there's like, no way.
It's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, because I'm not going back to my dad and be like, yeah, she didn't want it.
Right.
Because he didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it. She begged and pleaded.
Yes.
And...
Yeah, but I love how they're like, we don't need your money, we'll raise it ourselves, thank you, but no thank you, bye girl.
So then Pauletta gives them their money, or the money, on Wish Day. So,
and then they give her a uniform.
You give her a uniform, it's itty bitty, itty bitty, itty bitty. And then Pauletta cannot fit into that because remember, she is Oprah.
Nope. Plus size woman. They gave her the tiniest uniform.
Yeah, they did that on purpose.
Not even like a regular size human. It's like petite.
It couldn't even fit like a toddler. Yeah, that tiny uniform petite, they gave her,
like a petite child. And then also like around this part of the movie, Torrance is like trying to get back at Cliff. She's trying to win him back. She's like yelling at him in the hallways. Do you remember? She's like,
"Yeah,
you're the only one believed in me."
Yeah. So after all of this, she runs into Cliff in the hallway. She's like, "I broke up with him." She's like, "I broke up with Aaron," and he's like, "I literally don't care." He's playing his cassette tape. He's walking off, all cool, and then she's yelling at him. He didn't believe in me. You believed in me. You believed in me. And he don't even turn around, girl. He halfway down to the chem lab, and he's not even worried about what she got to say.
But I love her passion. I'm just like, yeah, girl. If you love him, go after him.
Girl, she made herself look like a fool. I would never. She doing all that screaming.
I mean, honestly,
and he's not even listening, girl. He don't even turn his head. He's walking down the hallway.
I honestly, at this point in her life, this is not the lowest she's been. So it's just a cycle.
She's had a really hard senior year.
And then we see like Missy telling Cliff to get over it.
Yeah. So at next scene, Missy and Cliff are at the house. Missy's like, she's really into you. She broke up with her boyfriend. Get over it. Let it go. Yeah. Like stop being such a douche. Let it go.
And next scene, we're in Daytona, Florida.
Daytona. Next scene, it's UCA Nationals, baby. We're in Nationals. Day 1. There's a lot going on. Torrance tries to call Cliff while they're at Nationals too. He doesn't answer. He's pulling an errand. But but it's a beautiful day in Daytona Beach, Florida. What's going on? Nationals Day 1. What's happening?
The team has finally made it the championship. The announcer. Oh, this is the part we see like the announcer like playing in the background. He says something about. He's talking about the girls and how everyone's there and the cheerleaders, and he says they have a gym dance and short. He says something about short skirts. He just like points out their short skirts, and I was just like, that's inappropriate.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He says like it's like a gross like, ooh, the cheerleaders and their short skirts are here. And I was like, they're kids.
These are minors.
Yeah, they're all in high school.
Right.
He was like, he was like, this is the best time of year. He's like, hot weather, short skirts. I was like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah, that is weird.
I was like, you can't say that, dude.
But it's the day 1. There's a lot of things going on. Courtney can't find her spanky pants because Torrance's little brother got him on her head. Mm-hmm. Somebody got hit in the face and got a bloody nose. Somebody throws up on one of their coaches. There's just a lot going on day 1 at Nationals. There's just a lot. Vomit, bloody noses, missing pants.
I think like the first time the Clovers perform, they talk about how like they call them like the Cinderella story.
Oh yeah,
and, like,
they
how
do. The real Cinderella story of the Clovers of East Compton.
That's how you want to. That's how. This is like the NFL. Like that's how you want to.
Season. It's a real underdog story.
Right. You had to have a backstory, or no one's gonna buy into it.
Right.
I think the 2 captains give each other advice, and they're like, Torrance and Isis.
Yeah, they have a little moment. Yeah. They're like,
bring it.
You know, it's already been brought in.
Yeah. It's already been brought in.
Don't forget. So Clovers go first because now I feel like at this point we're at Nationals Day 2. Because we don't see their routines from day 1.
Yeah, I do want to point out by now we really see the development of Torrance and Missy's friendship.
Oh yeah, they're like
they're
besties now.
They're like besties.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It is cute.
Missy's like a little more into the cheerleading stuff.
Yeah,
but they're like besties.
She's like, oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
They're so cute.
They are.
But yeah.
Okay, so Nationals Day 2. We're doing our routines. Clovers go first.
Yeah, they do amazing.
To start it off, they do 3 standing tucks, and then back handspring to fulls. Okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
they do 3. No. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. So to start it off, they do 3 standing back handsprings to fulls. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 3 back handsprings, and they follow it through with a full. And then they got a couple full baskets. They have a decent pyramid. I saw a lot of round off back handspring tucks.
yeah.
They did my favorite part, which was like the ripple toss libs, but instead of going horizontal, they were vertical. Remember
Explain why that's hard.
Okay, because if they were just horizontal,
Doesn't have to look as
right. If they're just horizontal, they're just like next to each other. But if they're vertical, the stunt is one in front of the other. So it being horizontal, you're standing with your stunt, and then the person in front of you is standing there with their stunt. And it doesn't give you any margin for error, because you can't move. Because if you move, then you mess up the person in front of you. Then that causes them to move forward, and then someone's going to fall. It was just really cool. It looked really cool. Yeah, it looked good. So that was my favorite part. So overall, they had a really good routine.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
They've always had a good routine. They just haven't performed.
They haven't been able to show it off.
And then up next is the Clovers.
Toros. Up next is the Toros.
The Toros.
So out of their routine, this is what I saw. They did an X full out basket. Okay. They start that off in the back. Tumbling, trash. I think the most I saw was like back handsprings. So the Clovers ate them up in the tumbling category. Yeah. Their tumbling was garbage. They did a bunch of back handsprings. They did a few tucks here and there. And I didn't see not one full. The Clovers had fulls, though. So I would say the Clovers had, like, better tumbling. But stunts for Clovers and Toros were about what and what. And I think the Toros had better choreo.
But I do want to point out that, Torrance put Cliff's song in their
right, she does. She puts their song in their routine. Song. And of course, Cliff is at Nationals, even though he wasn't answering the phone. Cliff is there at Nationals in the crowd.
His sister.
Sure.
You think it's for him? His sister is part of it.
I don't think.
Honestly, it's possibly
none
his
of this
twin.
is for his sister. All of this is for Torrance. Okay,
no, he came to support his sister.
He came all the way to Daytona, Florida. They live in San Diego. That boy flew all the way to Daytona.
Torrance's little brother came. And he hates cheer. He thinks cheerleading.
He came because the parents made him, because he can't stay home by himself. They couldn't find a babysitter. That's why he came.
He chose to come there. Cliff's song is in the routine. He's happy about it. He's raging. He's like, "Oh my god, that's so cute that she put my song in that song."
I also want to mention that Torrance's little brother is there with a T-shirt that says "cheerleading equals death" in the crowd.
Yeah, he's so dramatic.
Like, come on.
And then so now they're like all gathered up to see who's gonna win. And finally, after years and years and years of their routines being stolen, their hard work is recognized, and the Clovers win the
UCA
finals.
National Championship.
Not only do they win first place, they win $20,000, which back then was like $50,000.
They're super rich.
It was like, oh my god,
they're going to use it to buy computers.
Yeah, and Torrance becomes second place,
which isn't bad.
Yeah,
and I think the biggest plot twist of this entire film is the fact when they get second place, the person who's the most optimistic about it is Whitney. Whitney goes to second place. Hell yeah.
She was probably the most negative person.
She is the most negative person on that team. She has been negative since day one. She didn't want Missy on the team. Yeah. She didn't want to get a new routine. She wanted to forfeit Nationals. But now that they got second, she was like, all right, we did that. I'm like, okay.
Right, because her bar was so low.
Right.
She was like, we shouldn't even be here.
Right.
So second place, she was like, well, damn.
She didn't want Torrance to be captain. Girl, she was negative since day one. And now that they got second, girl, she's singing a brand new tune. I said, I see you, Whitney, girl.
And I have a question there. We kind of brought it up early. What if, in the end, the Toros still would have won? Toros.
I mean,
Torrance.
The Toros
would have won. That would have been terrible.
You know me. I think
Terrible. What would have been the lesson?
You do the right thing and you're rewarded for it.
No.
You do.
It's like you could still all these years, and if you just decide to try, you still win. That'd have been a terrible lesson.
I guess.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Oh, Jake, could you imagine if the Clovers would have lost the 1 year they come and do it? Because they basically won every year.
Well, they could have gotten second.
But what would have been the lesson for the Clovers?
They've literally won. They've technically won.
The Toros of the year, and every year they went under the Clovers.
Right.
And then finally the Clovers make it to it, doing their own routine, and they would have lost.
That's true.
What is that lesson?
That's true.
That would have been terrible.
They could have both gotten first. It could have been a tie.
What is that lesson?
I'm kidding.
Oh my God, what would have been that lesson?
Okay. As an adult, now I see it. Okay, now that I've in the grand scheme of things. But when I was younger, I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get why they didn't.
What movie was?
I never got why they didn't win.
I was watching some Netflix movie, and the guy dies in the end, and I was like, yeah, he has to die. Like what? I was like, it was like that. What's his name? Not Steve Carell. Billy Madison. What's his name?
Adam Sandler. Oh, Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. In the movie, he's like basically like a.
I think that was the only thing that made the movie good was the fact that he died.
Yeah, he's like a.
I thought the movie was terrible, and then when he died, I was like, oh my God, finally something.
Yeah, he's like a gambler, and he basically always spending people's money that he should be giving to the people. He makes money,
right?
And
he just digs himself into deeper
instead of giving
holes.
the money to pay off debt, he just spends it to risk it all.
Right.
And in the end, he bets it all and he wins, but they end up shooting him, which is good because the lesson is stop. Like, what would have been
Cut it out.
Like, what would have been a lesson if he just won and he lived happily ever after? That'd have been a terrible lesson.
Yeah.
This is basically the same thing, but yes.
I guess. So the Clovers win.
Yes.
The Toros get second place. Woo-hoo. Not bad. Torrance and Isis, they give each other their respect. They were like, congratulations to each other.
Right.
Torrance is like, y'all were better. And Isis is like, yeah, we were. And then Missy comes up with the spirit stick.
And then her and T talk about the curse again.
Yeah. And then she's like, I don't believe in it anymore. And then Missy drops the spirit stick. And then she lets it sit on the ground for a second. But then Torrance picks it up. And she's like, maybe just one more time.
I mean, honestly, if I was Torrance, I would be scarred.
Yeah.
This was one hell of a year. And we didn't even bring up schoolwork, basically. Right. Could you imagine adding schoolwork on top of that? And she needs to have a good grade so she can go to college next year.
Right. And that girl was taking advanced chem because her mama made her.
Right. So and she had to apply for colleges. She probably should have done that. Oh, I don't know.
Well, in the alternate ending, she was going to UC Berkeley. So she had decent grades.
Yeah. It's just a lot. Right. She had decent grades. It's just a lot. Also, I also made a note here is that I don't think they should have been allowed to perform the Toros.
You don't think they should have been? We wouldn't have had a movie,
right? But I think in the real world they shouldn't have been able to step in the real world.
Yes, but Jordan, this is a movie.
I think if it was reverse, the Toros would have ratted on the Clovers so quick that they stole that routine and.
The Clovers probably did rap, but no one was listening to them because
you think I feel like
are black.
I don't know. I just feel like black people just like swallow it sometimes, and they just like, oh, I can't believe this is their teeth.
I can't imagine them for 5 years.
Well, yeah, no, because I mean, this is the first year they've done something about it. They went to the cheer thing and did their whole routine in front of them. Because Isis was saying, we let y'all slide these last couple years, but now that I'm the captain. Dunzo.
Oh, I guess
that's why they were like,
Actually, okay, and then that actually does not make any sense. Why y'all just sit there and took it?
I guess the last captain was like, probably just like, tired.
She's probably like, we ain't got the money to go anyway.
Yeah.
Let them have it.
Yeah. But Isis is like, no. This year's gonna be different.
Not with me, honey, boo boo.
Torrance and Cliff kiss. They fall in love.
Yeah, so Cliff comes up. Yeah. Torrance kisses him. They're back on good terms. Yes. Everyone's spirits are high. And then we have a happy ending.
I wrote happy ending too. Happy ending. And then we get the iconic Hey Mickey. Hey Mickey, which is by what's her name?
I have no idea.
Hey, Mickey. So we get a dance montage with the song "Hey Mickey," and it is
by Tony Basil.
Yes, something like that. It's a girl.
Sure.
And it's like literally one of the best parts
of. You don't understand. You take me by the heart and you take me by the hand. Oh, when you understand.
It's guys like you, Mickey. It's what you do, Mickey. Don't break my heart, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. It's like the best.
That's one of the best movie endings I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love a dancing montage.
So good.
I always wonder, like, as like a director or producer or whoever decides these things, at like 30, 40 years old, they're like, okay, and at the end we need a dance montage.
Oh, right.
Like whose idea is this? Because it's cute and it's fun, but it's also like really, I feel like childish to be like, and at the end I want you guys to dance.
I really want you guys to have fun, okay?
Yeah. It's just like, it's cute. Like, did they just do it for fun? They were like, it may or may not go in the movie, or like, who decides this? Because it's like so, almost so corny, but I love it. I'm glad they did it, but it's funny.
It was great. It was fun. It was fun.
All right, guys. We're like...
That concludes our synopsis, our run-through, our rundown of Bring It On, one of the most iconic cult classic 2000 teenage rom-com films of the millennium.
That was a good sentence.
Thank you.
But yeah, thanks for coming. We're going to go head out because we're like on 2 hours and 14 minutes.
Jesus. This, I would like to also add that usually my notes, page-wise, they're usually like 6, 5, 7 pages. This time I had a whopping 14 pages of notes.
I'm not sure how.
I don't know how either. That's why it took me so long.
5.
It took me forever to write them too. It took me like a month. So,
anywho.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.